ABC Sport. This is the AFL.
A well-trodden path. Lockett, Hall, Franklin, and now Curnow. The grass is greener at the SCG.
Sit back, relax, witness the greatest. It don't get better than this.
On his left, he couldn't bang through a third, can he? You bet he can!
Mix from 45 on the run. And they've made it 6 in a row. What a goal.
Take a seat, 'cause it don't get better than this.
Nick Dacos takes the advantage, eyes the goals, and kicks it. DNA doesn't lie. Want it down. Socket off the ground by Will Ashcroft. He's a freak. That is just that. Freakish.
Welcome to the 2026 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Take a seat, 'cause it don't get better than this.
On radio, on digital, and ABC Listen.
You take a seat, 'cause it don't get better than this.
Last season, St Kilda coach Ross Lyon called them the AFL's Nepo baby. That was ahead of the Suns' 19-point win over the Saints. And Gold Coast grew up in 2025, playing and winning their first final. This season, they're currently 5-3 with an eye to another finals appearance, while the Saints are in the mix for postseason games too at 4-4 as these sides meet at Marara Oval in Darwin for the first time in the AFL. Welcome to you wherever you're listening. It is the Suns and the Saints at Marara. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner. Mitch, big one for both of these teams, not just in the context of the season, but we know how grumpy Damien Hardwick was after that Nepo baby comment last year.
He certainly was. A rivalry within a rivalry now for these two clubs after those comments. And as you mentioned, St Kilda's first time up to Marara, of course, and Gold Coast, it is their home away from home and their fortress over the past 8 visits there. So interesting to see if they can continue that tonight.
So they've won their past 8, as you say. And the Saints arriving for the first time without a superstar. Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera is in Darwin. He's been shaking hands with plenty of fans, but he has been withdrawn for this game, managed for the match. Ryan Burns come in as his replacement. We'll have the toss of the coin for you in just a second. It's down there in the middle of the ground in the centre circles. Cameron Wilkie is there alongside 3 Indigenous representatives from the Gold Coast Suns, Daniel Rioli amongst them, and the Saints have won. Callum Wilkie pointing to the left of our broadcast position. That is the Michael Long centre end of Marara. Let's get the thoughts quickly of our experts. Cara Antonio, Bo McDonald, welcome to you. What are we expecting?
Thanks, Clint, Mitch and Bowie. Really looking forward just to seeing Christian Petrarca, to be honest. Obviously missed a couple of games with injury, but he's averaging almost 10 score involvements over his last 6 games. So I'm really interested to see who goes to him, potentially Windhager. I know he's done a couple of jobs in his past as a tagger. So really looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, from a Saints perspective, I'm really looking to see if they can get over 100 points again. They've done it for the last 3 weeks in a row, a high-scoring team, and I think that third quarter was a bit of a blueprint for them last week, so I'll be looking to see if they can replicate that for a bit longer in the game. Obviously, with Nasiah out, it's going to be up to other players along that half-back line and around the wing to really get running and get their ball movement happening, and they give their forwards a good look.
As the players head to their respective starting position, what is it like boundary side? Let's find out from Will Zwar. G'day, Will.
G'day, Clint. Yeah, it's really hot down here, 30 degrees and 64% humidity. Going to be a slippery start. And the Mist fans are on both benches as well. Coming to the bench to start off tonight, Leo Lombard, local boy Joel Jeffrey, Ethan Reid, Lockie Goldwyn and Ben Jepson for the Suns. For the Saints, Jack McRae, Liam Henry, Liam O'Connell, Rowan Marshall and Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera's replacement, Ryan Barnes.
So that is a big bit of news for the Saints. Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera, the late out. Ryan Burns, of course, the 25-year-old coming in to replace him. The 31st time we've had an AFL game at Marara Oval. And tonight, Sam Collins, in his 11th game for the Suns, breaks the record for the most games at this stadium by any AFL player. Let's get things started. The Suns and the Saints here on ABC Sport. Mitch Turner to get us underway.
De Koning will get first go in the ruck for the Saints. Up against Ned Moyle. Ball goes up in the air. De Koning got the tap. It's out in the path, though. Initially of Petrarca coming through Garcia. Couldn't win it. Anderson there for the Suns. Tackled by Windhager as he kicks. Just got boots the ball. Umpire said no. Out of area. Umpire calling it holding the ball. It's going the way of St Kilda. Windhager will win the free kick. Still in the middle of the ground.
Great follow-up too from Windhanger. Started really tight on Petrarca, but great tackle.
Goes out just beyond left half back to Silvani. Kick up the wing looking for a target. Was too low for Wilkie. Under pressure. Tackled by Long. Just got a handball away. Darcy Wilson in there for St Kilda. Able to gather. Handball to Sinclair. High kick up the wing. Big pack at the back. Caminiti gathers. Handballs to Filippo, who goes backwards again to Darcy Wilson. Steps around a couple. Handballs up the line. Saints trying to move it forward. Windhager again. Just outside 50 at left half forward. Big kick to the hot spot. Fly over the back came from Sharman. Couldn't mark it. Ground level. Miller for the Suns. Got it to Rioli. Now back to McAndrew. To Noble. Left back pocket. They're going by hand, the Suns. To Rioli. Over the top to Bodie Hewlin. Breaks a tackle. Handball inboard to the run of Noble. Good support by the Suns. They're moving it beyond half back. Through hand. Back to Noble again. Another involvement to Davies. Steps around a tackler from St Kilda. Kicks up towards half forward. Big pack. No mark taken. Sinclair. Ground level for the Saints. Handballs now to a teammate. Windhager can get it to Hill.
8 hand passes for the Suns before they decided to put boot to ball as the Saints look to bring it down the outer side. Wilkie from Carroll to Windhager. Hill takes the mark. Pauses for a moment. Uncontested grab. Decides to go on a bit of a run. Got past Davies. Kicks towards the right forward pocket. Rioli brought it to the ground defensively for the Suns. Trying to get a hand pass out of there was Adams. Comes now to Noble. He'll kick towards the outer side of the ground, and that's all juggled disappointingly for the Suns. Humphrey had the opportunity to snaffle it into his chest, instead couldn't complete the mark. Goes across the boundary line for a throw-in just forward of left half-back for Gold Coast.
If the Saints keep missing tackles like they have there, they'll just keep handballing and finding blokes on the outside and using that handball link. You really got to stick the tackles.
11 hand passes to 2. Interesting from the Suns early doors. DeConing won it down. He's Davies for the Suns, though. Got it away to Noble. Kicks Gold Coast towards centre half forward. 2-on-2 battle. Long attacked it. Spills down again to Humphrey. Kick inside forward 50. Perfect to Ben King, who runs it along the ground. Miller, lovely inside 50. King was there and decided to do a little bit of, well, clever play when it works out for you. Could have put it onto his left boot, decided to run along the ground. It went end on end and found the major opening. And the Suns on the board in the opening 3 minutes. They're one straight 6 to St Kilda yet to score. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Our experts, Cara Antonio and Beau McDonald.
Well, Johnny Noble, 4 touches already, 2 kicks, 2 handballs and 100 metres gain, which is pretty much half of Gold Coast possessions and metres gain. Just set that up perfectly, kept the ball alive. Tuke Miller, don't know about the dribble kick, but it came off in those conditions. I was going to
ask you both as coaches, how did you feel? It's tricky, it's clever, it's okay when it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Draws within 1 of Jack Gunson at the top of the Coleman Medal leaderboard from the restart. Windhager tackled by Davies. Running backwards, ball up again, just inside the defensive edge of St Kilda's centre square. Here we go. Ball up in the air again to Koning. Clear tap out wide to Wood. Handball to Garcia. The Saints go out the outer side. Foot race is on. First one there is Collins. Leads Caminiti to the ball. Can't take possession. Tackled, maybe without it, as the ball ricochets off bodies out of bounds. Will be tossed back in. 28 degrees, as Will Zwar told us earlier in Darwin. A beautiful night. Always slippery conditions. High humidity as the ball is tossed back in. Moyle got the ball down to the front. Windhager, though, sharked it for the Saints. Kick up towards half forward. Big fist from Collins into the path of Noah Anderson. He's tackled. Somehow got a handball to Davies, who slips the tackle from Filippo. Did well in the end, Davies. Kicks out towards the wing, and that is not a great way to finish off some good work. He misses the target. It rolls out of bounds. Last disposal, Lasso. It'll come back. Sinclair will win the free kick for St Kilda. He'll go inboard and finds a teammate in Jack Carroll who can switch it towards centre half back, where Howard takes the mark.
Uncontested mark, and he'll move it towards the commentary wing. Oh, Saint player should have been able to take it. Instead, just slipped over. Allows Gold Coast to rebound. Rioli, Petrarca, Miller kicks towards right half forward. Beautiful kick. Taken there on the mark. Running inside forward 50. They move it towards Ugle-Hagan. Terrific grab. Running out from full forward to mark it. Graham involved, and the mark on the lead from Ugle-Hagan is right in front and no more than 35 metres out.
Unfortunate for St Kilda there. They want to go out the other side of the ground, just slipped over, and like footy is now, it comes back really quick on the turnover. Plenty of space for Ugle-Hagan to just come at the ball at the kicker's foot.
Lockie Weller with the inside 50, precise to Ugle-Hagan. Good to see him back playing football. Jamara Ugle-Hagan, that's a disappointing kick. He's hit the post. Missing to the left-hand side. 1-1-7 Gold Coast. The Saints yet to score. Opening 6 minutes of the first term at Marara here on ABC Sport.
Sinclair will bring the ball back into play for St Kilda. Kicks long up the middle, backing back, trying to take the mark. Silvani. Andrew came over the top and got him higher. So Silvani will win the free kick. Kicks up towards left half forward. On the bounce taken by Sharman. Handball over the top to the run of a teammate in O'Connell, who kicks long inside forward 50. It was a long kick in the end. And it was offline, out of bounds on the full. So a couple of wayward kicks at either end for both of these sides. A shot of Ross Lyon in the coach's box, arms folded. A little frustrated, as he often can be. Will Powell will bring the ball back into play. Origin player for WA earlier this year. Kicks long outside defensive 50. Andrew went up, couldn't take the mark. Knocked down by Jepson. Ball in dispute at left half forward for the Saints. De Koning crashes through, tackled. Couldn't take it. Hill could. Got a handball away and then dispossessed, tackled. Holding the ball called. Hot whistle by the umpire. It's going the way of the Suns. At right half back, Jepson will take the ball. Often one of the forgotten four out of the Carey Grammar side that featured Noah Anderson, Nick Dacos and Matt Rowell. Getting his second game of AFL today. He goes back to Andrew, who does a bit of fancy footwork on the mark and goes short beyond right half back to Petrarca. The Suns, 1-1-7 lead St Kilda yet to score. We've played 7.5 minutes in the first term.
So Petrarca towards the grandstand wing. Ugle-Hagan was up. Spilled down. Graham got a hand pass forward to Miller. Clever hand pass to Humphrey. Well tackled. Getting onto him was O'Connell. Wrapped him up. He's going to come back though. He was taken high. Unfortunate for the Irishman who thought he had him. Instead, he'll get away with that. And Humphrey decides to turn around and go back towards right half forward in line with the attacking edge of the centre square was Andrew. He'll move it on to Rioli, goes inside forward 50. That's not a great kick. And coming out to mark is Mason Wood between fullback and centre half back. No change to that score. 1-1-7 the Suns. The Saints yet to trouble the scorers. 8 and a bit gone in the first here on ABC Sport.
Out to the late inclusion, Ryan Burns, if you're just joining us, in for Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera, an hour pre-bounce, or pre-ball up now. Wanganeen-Millera out-managed. Still made the trip up to the top end, though, which I'm sure plenty of the fans he was getting around earlier would have appreciated. St Kilda, in the meantime, happy to chip the ball around in their defensive 50. Howard retreats back to his defensive goal square, where Silvani could mark, roll, and go out to Wilkie. At right half back, has plenty of space, runs, takes a bounce, takes a second. The All-Australian defender kicks up the wing, looking for a marking target, dropping back, taking the mark, Hewland. This is Bodie. Able to take the intercept mark for the Suns. You can see the sweat dripping off the players already. He goes short to Noble. He goes even shorter to Christian Petrarca, defensive side of the outer wing. Happy to play possession, the Suns. They go back to Collins, and he switches it further across his defensive 50 to Andrew.
Andrew has time to assess his options. He'll come out to Rioli. Still at right half back. Henry stands the mark. Comes to his right shoulder, the Morris Rioli grandstand here at Marara. Daniel Rioli kicks towards the wing, just past that. Good grab, Moyle up in a pack. Dragged it down. He turns around, glances inboard. There were options on. Instead, hands it to the run of Daniel Rioli. Will kick into the right forward pocket. Big fly. Wilkie got up there. So did King. Quick hands for the Saints. Came out the side. McRae got absolutely bumped over, receiving the hand pass from Silvani, but worked it out nicely from his defensive 50. Mark there to be taken by Dougal Howard. Right up against the boundary. Left half back. Spears a kick inboard. The Saints with an opportunity to bounce forward. It comes to Sinclair. Then sliding out to mark is Marshall, and he's got it right on centre wing.
Marshall, kick up towards left half forward. Big fierce coming across from Hewland. Free kick will be paid anyway to the Suns, but Big fly across the top of the pack. It'll go against Sharman. Interference in the marking contest. They'll win the free kick.
Both teams finding it really difficult to get a corridor option at the moment. The ball's a bit like old circle work and then just going straight up and down the line. Both teams defending the corridor really well.
Here they go again, another hold in the marking contest. This time going St Kilda's way. It'll go to Rowan Marshall. The turf normally looks very nice at Marara. Tonight it's a little bit soft underfoot. Might get an update at some stage from Will Zwar down there who can give us a closer look at the turf. At the moment, St Kilda through Stocker, they have it on centre wing, right from the logo, kicks up towards left half forward. Mac Andrew with a big fist over the top. Good chance to head down to Will Zwar on the boundary. Will, what are the conditions like at ground level?
Yeah, very still here. We know that, as I said earlier, it's 30 degrees, so very hot, but it has been one of the wettest wet seasons on record. A lot of rain's fallen over the past 6 months, so that might be why that turf is a little bit softer on top.
Thrown back in, left half forward here for the Saints. McRae's out after it, under pressure from Miller. They both go to ground. The ball back over the boundary line for another throw-in.
It's normally a beautiful looking surface, Marara. It's actually very nice, but as Will says, a lot of rain and it's pretty loose underfoot, and they've got another game of football next week.
They do. Port Adelaide will be facing the Gold Coast. That's one of the 2 Friday night games. Thrown in again. Comes down to Miller. Got tackled strongly. Got it off to Anderson. Almost knocked down here by Windhager, who is able to tap it down for the Saints. The Henry has to go backwards by a hand. Saints will look for an option inside forward 50 through Sinclair. Not a great kick. Coming out, Andrew takes the mark. Mac Andrew. Been solid defensively so far this evening. 5 disposals now for him and 4 marks. Moves it on to Powell. Still inside his defensive 50. Goes out to the old scoreboard wing. Just shy of that, Hewland elects to go back by hand again to Noble. He will throw the ball onto the boot. Kicks back towards the outer wing. Hill's there for the Saints. Got it on to Burns. His hand pass forward, knocked down by Humphries. Has to backtrack. Came off his leg. Humphries follows up. Tackled by Wilkie. Good aggressive play by the experienced Saints. That's over the boundary line for a throw-in. 1-1-7 the Suns. The Saints yet to score. We've gone 13 minutes into the opening term. This is Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner in commentary. Our experts, Cara Antonio, Bo McDonald, Will Zwars on the boundary. Here's Mitch Turner.
Moyle and Marshall lock up. Moyle got a zap over the top to Petrarca for the Suns, who gave it on to Miller. Spun on a dime, inboard to Lombard. His handball missed Anderson running past. Went back and got it, Lombard. Got it to Rioli. Shook one tackle. Not quite the second. The umpire benefit of the doubt. No. Got a handball away, but was given a lot of time. And he was caught by Flanders. So St Kilda win the free kick by hand. Coming past Hill, is able to gather and go short to McRae. Game 274 for the 3-time All-Australian, former Dog. Spears a short kick to Hill, not the required 15, so he gives it back by hand to McRae, who kicks up towards Marshall, doing a lot of work early. A great game last week. Rowan Marshall kicks inside the forward 50, beautiful work at the back by Oscar Adams. Able to take the mark. Miller running past, receives the handball, kicks a little wide. Collins just gathers it beyond right half back. Handball's inboard to Hewland, who loops it over the top. Looking for Jepson. Back to Miller. Getting a ton of the footy. Took Miller. The kick up the wing wasn't great, though. Sat it on the head of Lombard. Knocked down by Wilkie to Hall, who sees a vacant goal square from 60 metres out. He bounces it through for St Kilda's first. Max Hall, so dangerous. Counts the margin back to 1 behind. St Kilda 1 straight 6, Gold Coast 1-1-7. We've travelled 14 and a half minutes in the first term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Mitch Turner, Clint Wilden alongside Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald.
Good come forward pressure there from Wilkie, obviously, to create the spoil, but St Kilda just haven't been able to connect forward of the ball. 6 intercept marks and possessions to Gold Coast Suns, and I think at the moment, that's the only way of them likely to score is getting one out the back, Bo.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think it just shows there also how well they were defending the corridor there, St Kilda. Miller tried to come inboard. He lifted that kick just a little bit too high. They got it to ground and they slingshotted him over the top with the kick. So I think you're right there, Cara.
Head downstairs to Willing just a moment. Marshall wins the ball up in the centre, immediately kicks inside forward 50. Henry overran it, elects to soccer it forward. Scooping onto it, Hill for the Saints. Sweeps a hand pass back to Hall. Back again. Gets it to Wilson. Kicks inside forward 50 to Henry, who marks. He's about 45 out from goal and hard up against the boundary. He decides he's going to have a shot.
Much better there. Obviously, a bit of separation created from Henry. Able to lower the eyes and hit the target. Tough angle. But you never know with Liam Henry. He's good in front of goal.
25 goals from so far. His 63rd game tonight. Played 43 of those with the Dockers. He crosses the 50 at right half forward. That's a disappointing kick. He's put it right. He's missed everything. Out of bounds on the full. Let's head downstairs. Will Zire. Will?
Yeah, local boy Joel Jeffrey's just come on for his first minutes of the game. 14.5 minutes, so if he looks a little bit jittery on the field, maybe he can provide some stability in the back half. Christian Petrarca also came off for his first spell of the evening.
The Suns with the ball. Hewland it is, who kicks it long towards the wing. In front, Ben King. Free kick called to the back against Ben Long. It's going the Saints' way to Wilkie. Ben King out there, of course, for the Suns. His brother Max did a hamstring in the VFL last week, looking to come back for St Kilda. He'll miss some more time. The Saints go short to Brad Hill. Long kick towards the goal square. Great body work by Owens. He reads the drop of the ball, takes the mark. He'll kick from 10 metres out, 45-degree angle to the left. Great work by St Kilda.
Jimmo won't be happy with that. A number of Gold Coast players could have came over and spoiled that quite easily.
Owens, as they often do, runs around the corner, snaps the ball through the goals, and St Kilda take the lead. 2 straight 12, the Saints. Gold Coast are 1-1-7. 17 minutes played in the first term. Goal to Mitch Owens.
It's good by Mitch Owens. Great timing. Just a little nudge on Mac Andrew there at the right time. Not enough to give a free kick away, and just protected the drop of the ball and took the grab.
Didn't take a lot of contact on Mac Andrew, did it?
But Mac Andrew got lost anyway. He was defending no one and just noticed way too late to go over, and had no impact, obviously, in the contest.
People take some strange things to the football, but in front of the goal at the long centre end, the person's brought an inflatable green alien and put a St Kilda scarf around it. Now, it's a free kick being spotted in the ruck contest. Not been allowed to have a go at. The jump was Andrew. It's gone against the Saints here, so the free kick against Rowan Marshall. Andrew brings it out to the wing. Weller look to move it on. Anderson, long kick inside forward 50. Big pack up. Silvani at the back. Read it well. Swept the hand pass forward. Opportunity to go here from Flanders, the former son, out towards right half back. It was missed by Sharman, scooped up by Henry, onto Hall by hand. The run continued from Sharman, and then he shares it back with Hall, who continues in his run and then slips over just forward of the wing. Remarkable. Completely lost his footing. Jeffrey couldn't believe it. He picks it up and then he turns it over again. Flanders marking on the outer edge of the centre square. Not a couple of minutes you'd want to see back for either of those sets of players. And the kick is towards right half forward, and Sharman takes a contested mark. He's got it about 60 from goal.
It's like he stopped to kind of place the ball, like bounce the ball, and then lost his footing. Bizarre.
Yeah, he did stop, and unfortunately for him, the studs didn't stick, and they kept going. Found himself sitting on his backside, and Jeffrey was delighted to pick the ball up. Cooper Sharman will have to kick from about 53 metres here. He's at right half forward. It's not going to have the accuracy. It's off hands. Group of players in front of the behind line to the left-hand side. Knocked through from minor score. The Saints, their first minor score of the evening. 2-1-13 to Gold Coast. 1-1-7. St Kilda by 6 points. Here on Saturday Night Footy on ABC Radio.
In fairness to Joel Jeffrey, last time he played at Marara, Sam Flanders was on his team. So maybe just a little bit of confusion as the kick goes outside defensive 50 from Andrew. Off hands, falls to Powell for the Suns to Anderson. Step past Filippo, tackled by Wilson, who let him know about it too as he receives the holding the ball free kick. Darcy Wilson has it a kick and a half from home. And a 50-metre penalty will bring him right inside 50. He'll be no more than 10 metres out. This will be a third goal in a row for St Kilda. Darcy Wilson's arguing over the distance, whether it's going to be 5 metres or 7 metres. He's directly in front.
You want to hope he'd kick it regardless.
Tell you what, he'd go back 10 metres, he should still kick it. He's directly in front, Darcy Wilson. Puts it through. Never in doubt from there. The Saints have got 3 in a row. Wilson goals. They are 3-1-19 St Kilda. Gold Coast a 1-1-7, 12-point margin. We've played 21 minutes in the first term. Mitch Turner, Clint Wheeldon, Will Zwar on the boundary. Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald, our experts.
The Saints are starting to put some good front half pressure on the Gold Coast Suns. And they on the way back in, lucky enough to get a 50-metre penalty there to get the goal. But to really capitalise on their dominance, I'd like to see the Saints maybe shift the ball a little bit more. Once they get that front half turnover, shift the ball really quickly, give their forwards a bit more chance, turn the defender's head.
Belated welcome to our listeners who've joined us on the Gold Coast, on ABC Local Radio. Suns got the first through Ben King of this contest. The Saints have kicked the next 3, and they currently lead by 12 points at Marara. Deep kick inside forward 50 for the Saints from the boot of Garcia, and it's somehow found the smallest player in that pack in Henry.
Well done to Koning there. He's got his knee up right high, right into Moyle's stomach, giving the young fella a really good one and got the play going.
A chance from a 45-degree angle to Henry from around about 35 metres out. Clint Wheeldon alongside Mitch Turner in commentary. Our experts Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald. Will Zwar on the boundary to make it 4 goals unanswered for the Saints. Liam Henry on his way in. He steers it through. The Saints have a 4th. 4-1-25 to Gold Coast's 1-1-7. 22 and a bit gone in the opening term. The Saints lead now out to 18 points.
Just dominating clearance at the moment. St Kilda, and especially out of centre, bounced so hard to defend that. I think it was Jeffrey just mistimed, and Henry stayed down straight into his lap.
Roslan will be happy. Will Zwar down to the boundary.
Yeah, it's still very hot up here, 29 degrees. Even local boy Daniel, he's having a spell on the bench now, and he had a bag of ice just on the back of his neck trying to cool down.
Important player for him. Daniel, of course, the grandstand, the Morris Rioli stand. One of the most famous surnames in the history of football. Back in the middle, it's a free kick to De Koning in the ruck. Hall will take the advantage of St Kilda. Goes inside 50, on the lead is Marshall. Take it on the chest. A couple of players went bang, bang and fell over behind him. And storming out, taking the mark on the chest was Rowan Marshall. This will make it 5 in a row if he can convert from directly in front.
I don't know about the advantage there. Everyone stopped, didn't know what was going on. Yeah, I'm just a bit... I don't like that rule.
It was a little delayed. However, Rowan Marshall has the ball in hand. From almost directly in front, he'll miss. 4-2-26 St Kilda, 1-1-7 Gold Coast, 19-point margin. About 4 minutes remaining in this first term. Terrible miss by Rowan Marshall.
Had 2 disappointing misses by the standards you expect from AFL footballers. Still have a handy lead. As Mitch said, 4-2 to 1-1. Rioli has it now for the Suns in the right back pocket. Kicks to the commentary wing, and King got himself in front position and marks for Gold Coast. Ben King kicked the opening goal of the game. It's been all the Saints since that point in time too. King kicks towards right half forward. Moyle up against the Koning. Moyle brought it to ground. Weller tried to go out after it. There's a free kick spotted. He'll come back here to be taken again by the Suns. This is Lockie Goulburn. The left wrist and right wrists both strapped. From shy of right half forward, puts it into the right forward pocket. Saints had the numbers to Koning in front. Couldn't mark, spilled down. Koning got it. Able to get a hand pass away. Flanders goes beyond defensive 50. Punched forward by Hewlin for the Suns. Now to Weller. Marshall looks to tackle him. Weller's hand pass was up and down in the spot. Emerging with it, McRae. It's able to get it away Comes out to the side. Now a chance for Filippo. Back to Marshall. Slick hands. It comes to Hill. This is impressive from St Kilda. They move it on again through Flanders. Hand pass again to Filippo. Was taken high by Rioli. Looks to play on. Ugly kick. Works out okay. Inside forward 50. It comes towards another Saint in Wilson, and he kicks his second. Great build-up. Scrappy finish, but he found the major opening. And they've now kicked 5 unanswered goals. The Saints are 5-2-32 to the Suns 1-1-7, 26 gone in the opening term. What about the movement, the hand passing down the commentary wing? That was slick. Goal, less so, but they all count the same. Cara Antonio and Beau McDonald.
Well, they ran in waves there, certainly, didn't they? And just way too easy for St Kilda. They're certainly winning the territory battle at the moment, putting all the pressure on the Gold Coast Suns and capitalising on the scoreboard. So Damien Hardwick he'd want to get his team to stop moving the ball so stagnant and try and find some other options. They're just going straight down the line constantly.
It's back into the side this week. Wilson already has 2 goals. Ball back in the middle, coming through Weller. Couldn't take it initially for the Suns, then went back and got it. Handball to Moyle. The big man unloads inside 50. A deep, deep ball. Silvani went back, couldn't take the chest mark, fumbled it uncontested in the end. Now the ball's rolling around left forward pocket for the Suns. Graham trying to get it to Humphrey. Couldn't take clean possessions, like a bar of soap sometimes at Marara. Darwin conditions. Ball's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. I often see the players with the ball in the soapy water during the week, trying to prepare. Toss back in. Marshall got a hand to it, roved his own work, got the handball towards Stocker, who socketed it off the ground. Couldn't get it to a teammate. It ricochets off bodies, though. Comes to Windhager. Long kick outside. Defensive 50 to Koning. Brilliantly going back against Jeffrey. Initially thought he took the mark. Umpire called play on as he juggled it. Going forward again are the Suns. Windhager able to intercept, gather off the ground. He goes short to Caminiti.
Hand passes over the top. So the run of Garcia. Saints will look to move it into the right forward pocket. Caminiti again involved. Stealing it away here was Hewlin. Has to soccer it back inside his own defensive 50. Picked up by Noble. Hand passes into the ground. Actually ricochets away off Hall. So it's going to be out of bounds on the full. Is that the call? It is. Unfortunate again for the Saints on that occasion. Nonetheless, Noble happy to take the free kick, and he moved it short. Now the Suns will work it around their defensive 50. This is Rioli, who takes a bounce and then kicks in the direction of right half back. It's just kept in by Goldberg, is it? No, apparently not, according to the boundary umpire. We know that sometimes it's hard to see from where you are. He was in the best position right alongside it, but I'm still surprised by that call as it was made. They've decided they're going to throw it in again. And
that's in.
Yes, we've just seen a replay. That was definitely in. They have got that one wrong from the throw-in. Umpires, once he spotted a free kick that's going the Saints' way, will come back to Stocker against Petrarca, who holds his arm out to say, well, what was that all about? Stocker doesn't mind. Kicks the Saints towards left full forward. De Koning can't quite take the mark. Con's got a hand pass away to Anderson. Hand pass bounces there for Miller to run onto. Tackled by Wood. Got the hand pass out, though, to Petrarca.
Petrarca out wide by hand to Weller. Kicks it up the wing, and it's intercepted by Wilkie. Go laterally into the middle of the ground where Sinclair marks unopposed. Able to immediately play on. Kick up towards the right half forward. And as Owens takes the mark, the siren goes. That's 1 quarter in the books at Marara Oval. Footy up in the top end. It's St Kilda 5-2-32 to Gold Coast 1-1-7. A 25-point lead at the fortress the Suns have created.
You shouldn't be surprised, though. The Saints are the best opening quarter team in the competition. That's now their 8th first-term win. And up by 25 points. The goal kickers, Darcy Wilson's got 2. Singles to Owens, Henry and Hall. While for the Gold Coast Suns, their only goal coming at the 3rd minute mark off the boot of Ben King. There is another game to bring you up to date with. It's a really interesting one as well. 2 sides who have met before in grand finals. I speak of Geelong and Collingwood. And 5.5 minutes gone to the opening term at the MCG. The Cats have the early lead there. They're 1-1-7 to Collingwood's 1 behind. Wherever you're listening, glad you could be with us here on ABC Local Radio, News Radio, Sport Digital and streaming on ABC Listen. It's the Suns and the Saints with a 25-point advantage. This is Saturday Night Footy at quarter time on ABC Sport.
Why aren't journalists allowed to tell you everything they see in court cases, and are those with means gaming suppression orders? We asked the self-described queen of banning things, retired Supreme Court Judge Betty King. Search the Case Of podcast on ABC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Noble kicks Gold Coast towards centre-half forward. 2-on-2 battle. Long attacked it. Spills down again to Humphrey. Kick inside forward 50. Perfect to Ben King, who runs it along the ground. Miller, lovely inside 50. King was there and decided to do a little bit of, well, clever play when it works out for you. Put it onto his left boot, decided to run along the ground. It went end on end and found the major opening. And the Suns on the board in the opening 3 minutes.
Jepson back to Miller. Getting a ton of the footy took Miller. The kick up the wing wasn't great though. Sat it on the head of Lombard. Knocked down by Wilkie to Hall, who sees a vacant goal square from 60 metres out. He bounces it through for St Kilda's first. Max Hall, so dangerous, counts the margin back to 1 behind. The Saints go short to Brad Hill. Long kick towards the goal square. Great body work by Owens. He reads the drop of the ball, takes the mark. He'll kick from 10 metres out, 45-degree angle to the left. Owens, as they often do, runs around the corner, snaps the ball through the goals, and St Kilda take the lead.
Flanders, hand pass again to Philippo, was taken high by Rioli, looks to play on. Ugly kick, works out okay, inside forward 50. It comes towards another Saint in Wilson, and he kicks his second. Great build-up, scrappy finish, but he found the major opening, and they've now kicked 5 unanswered goals.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Quarter time at Marara, the first time the Saints have been here, and they're finding it a terrific venue. After the first quarter they'd played, they're up by 25 points over the Gold Coast. It's normally the Suns' home away from home. They've won their past 8 at this venue, going back to round 11 2022. But they've got a real challenge on their hands right now, Cara Antonio and Beau McDonald.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the first kind of 5 to 6 minutes, I thought the Gold Coast really owned the ball, owned field position, inside 50 count, and we mentioned, Bowie, that just the inside 50s for St Kilda were wasteful, but the back end of that quarter, Saints dominated clearance, +5, and then +7 for inside 50s. Their 4 of their goals came from turnovers, so I think that pressure just amped up. They were really set up well behind the ball with Wilkie and Sinclair dominating, and were able to get 4 marks inside forward 50 and go back and convert.
Yeah, and I think, after they kick that goal, they go back to the centre bounce, and then I think De Koning in that last 10 minutes really put his stamp on the game. Jumping into Moyle, got a real big knee into him. That made him a bit iffy for the next centre bounce. The Saints got that one again through a free kick because he come over the line, just worried about that knee. And I think with Marshall to go through there as well, it's going to be a worrying part of the game going forward. If St Kilda can just get their territory game going, especially through centre bounce, it's going to be difficult the way the Gold Coast Suns have been moving the ball. So the big fella, young Moyle, he's got a big job on his hands, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Some of the numbers from the first quarter, the contested possessions going the way of St Kilda, 29 to 26. The tackle count, how's this for a quarter of footy? St Kilda 8, Gold Coast 7. That's a very, very low
Lots
tackle
of
count.
slip tackles and missed tackles, though.
And it is slippery
it's hard.
up there. But
it's hard
15 tackles for a quarter of a game is very, very... You're hoping as a team to get more than 15, let alone the whole game. The clearance count, 9-4 the way of St Kilda, which should be an area of strength for the Suns. The inside 50 count, 15 to 8 St Kilda's way as well. The hit-outs, 6-5. the way of St Kilda. Individually, John Noble has 10 disposals for the Gold Coast Suns, equal most on the ground. 9 to Rioli with 232 metres gained, if you don't mind. 9 to Tuke Miller, Bodie Hewland with 8, and then 7 for Andrew and Anderson. For St Kilda, Brad Hill has 10 disposals, 7 to Sinclair and Rowan Marshall, who's in everything at the moment, and then 6 apiece to Max Hall and Marcus Windhager. Just repeating those goal kickers if you missed it. 2 to Darcy Wilson from the Saints, Owens, Henry and Hall with singles. Ben King has moved to 29 goals on the season, just 1 behind Jack Gunston after kicking 1 in the first quarter.
Just recapping the games earlier today in the AFL, the Swans by 8 points over North Melbourne and the Giants by 14 points against the Bombers. In the NRL, Newcastle just continued the Dragons' woes, 34-point winners. The Knights over St George Illawarra, 44 points to 10. And the game you've just joined us from, if you're listening on local radio throughout the Gold Coast, just repeating there, Souths 24-point winners over the Sharks, 36 to 12. 8 minutes gone in the game between Manly and the Broncos. It's the Sea Eagles leading that one 6 points to 4. We'll keep you up to date with that. And just repeating too, if you weren't with us at the very start, big news from the Saints. Nazaya Wanganeen-Millera, one of their superstars, best and fairest last year, All-Australian, $1 million player. He's been managed from this game, so he's up in the territory, but not playing. The late change, Ryan Burns, coming in for the Saints. That was enormous news. Ross Lyon looks in good humour downstairs, almost mugging it up for one of the cameras as he made his way off the ground. Both teams wearing Indigenous jumpers for this game as well. They both look absolutely terrific. Plenty of pressure now on Gold Coast. They've had such success at this venue. I mentioned lost the first 2 times they've been here and then won the next 8 in a row. Of course, they're here again on Friday night to take on Port Adelaide. But right now they find themselves staring at a 25-point deficit. St Kilda winning their 8th opening term of the season. They're all square in second quarters. Both have won 4 apiece in 2026. It's 5th in the Gold Coast versus 9th in the St Kilda. At the moment, those in red, black and white in the advantage. Second term underway, ball thrown up in the middle, one down by the Saints, but it comes immediately to Petrarca, gets a hand pass away, missed originally its target on Anderson, spun away from Windhager, moved it on to Davies, kicks the Suns towards left half forward, stretching, not able to mark it, there was Jepson. It's off his hands and tumbles across the boundary line at left half forward for the Suns.
It was, of course, forgotten when Matt Rowell won his Brownlow as the 4th member, and the host said, "Oh, where did he end up?" They're like, "He's playing AFL football too."
Thrown back in. One down here by Moyle. Big ruck for Gold Coast. Davies harassed out of it. Nicely picked up by Windhager of the Saints. Thumps it down the broadcast wing. Umpire spots a free kick. When dealt with was Hewland, and he'll get the free kick for the Suns. Could have gone short to Collins if he wanted to. Collins breaking away towards the boundary. Not a great kick. Down low. Miller's able to gather it. Tackled immediately by Flanders, the former Sun, which means they'll be with no prior. A ball up again. Just on the commentary edge of the centre square. No ruck went towards it. Trying to knock it out of there was Garcia. Philippo looks to pick it up. Anderson does. Gets it for the Suns. Moves it by hand to Jepson, to Miller. Hand passes forward. Jepson almost a little back pass. That was clever. Flicked it back with his heel to Miller. Then on again to Hewland. Now off to Rioli. Moves it short. This is Noble. Just shy of the logo on the outer wing. Gets told to move it on and does so with a kick towards right half forward. Saint went underneath it. Humphries is able to get his arms free. Got a hand pass to Davies. Pops a hand pass out again to Rioli. Hard up against the boundary, right half forward. Kicks into the right forward pocket. Silvani, well done for the Saints. Got in front of his opponent and won it across the boundary line for a throw-in. About 30 out from the Suns' goal. They're kicking to the left of the broadcast position. That's the long centre end here at Marara in this second term. Still, St Kilda lead by 25 points.
Ball spun back in, shallow throw in. Marshall to the front, tapped it down in front. Was he being held from behind? A free kick's been paid. It's going the way of the Gold Coast Suns. It's going to Christian Petrarca. Being held at the contest. Will go back and have the set shot. Liam Stocker not happy. Petrarca will have the set shot, slightly worse than a 45-degree angle, 30 metres out.
Have to just watch the replay there because he did get on the move, Petrarca. He obviously wanted to get busy, but he knew he put his hand up the moment the whistle went.
Just a little tug of the jumper, maybe, not a lot.
Not much in that, though.
He's taking his time, Christian Petrarca. New lease on life and the Gold Coast Suns. Norm Smith medalist for the Demons in 2021. Puts the ball straight through the middle of the big sticks. Petrarca gets his first, and the Suns get the first goal of the second quarter. It ends a run of 5 straight St Kilda goals. The score now 2-1-13. The Suns, the Saints, a 5-2-32 margin, 19 points. Early stages of the second quarter at the MCG. It's 14 apiece between Geelong and Collingwood halfway through the first quarter. In what is game 432 now officially for Scott Pendlebury. He shares the VFL-AFL all-time games record with Brent Harvey as the Cats kick a goal through Ollie Henry and move back ahead by 6 points.
Great job by Gold Coast there to make the stoppage big, give Petrarca some room to move into. Hence the defender had to grab his jumper because he just had so much space in the lane.
Certainties in life, death, taxes, and Scott Pendlebury not playing next week at the SCG against Sydney. So he can have the record breaker at the MCG. Immediately, the Suns go inside forward 50, spills down off a pack, off hands to Humphries, right forward pocket, kicked around the body. Underneath it was Reid. Spoil came from Silvani across the behind line for a minor score. Suns working their way back into this. Now just an 18-point margin. Saints still in front. 4 and a bit gone second turn.
Ball brought back into play. Gray kick it out towards right half, back into the path of Wilson. Almost run down from behind, affected the kick, which lands in the arms of Joel Jeffrey, the local boy. Goes further inside towards the middle of the wing to Touk Miller. Takes the mark, now runs over the line and kicks back in the left forward pocket in front. Unable to take the mark for the Suns was Gulbin, and he's edged and ushered out of bounds. So the ball will be tossed in, left half forward. Great run by Gulbin to put the pressure on Darcy Wilson initially to affect the kick. Stands at the front of this pack as the ball is tossed back in high. Moyle in front of Marshall. Another whistle blown at the stoppage. This time it's going the way of Stocker. It's going against Alex Davies. So the Saints will win the free kick. A number of free kicks at the stoppage so far this game. Alex Davies a little perplexed. Stands the mark as Stocker can send the Saints up the wing.
He'll do so. Moyle there up against Marshall. Marshall got hands to it. Free kick going though. Actually, the contested mark's been paid to Marshall here. Know how much he had of it. Enough, according to the officials. Tells players to move out of his way. And then kicks with the right towards right half forward. Big fly. Getting to attack. It was Sharman. At the back, though, staying down Andrews. Got it on to Anderson. Hand pass to Miller. Set him a real task. The moment he received it was tackled by Hill. And he's been told that he has to give the free kick away. Making enough effort to get rid of it. Hill, dangerous kick across centre half forward. Strong play came from Sinclair. Got it onto Windhager. Top of the 50-metre arc. Kicks long. Getting back. Owens dives onto it. Got crashed into. Ball spilled out to Wood. Kicks up in the air. Sharman, his kick smothered. Desperate play. Wood went after it again. He was tackled to ground by Collins. The Suns will emerge with it. Rioli to Miller. Then to Rioli. Takes a bounce and a second bounce and a third. He's still going. A fourth and a fifth. Remarkable. A sixth. Rioli gets a kick away forward of the wing. Inside forward 50. No mark taken. That was something truly special. This could be two. Humphrey gathers. Kicks around the body. Weller marks at full forward. What a run from Daniel Rioli. He just kept going and going and going. At a ground where the grandstand is named after Maurice Rioli. They should put something on the other side of the ground now at the outer and name it after him after a performance like that.
Wowee. How was the pressure in the back half by a number of Gold Coast Suns? Daniel Rioli, what a star.
Lockie Weller has kicked 4 straight this season. He's kicked 5 straight. And the Suns have kicked back-to-back goals. St Kilda 5-2-32. Gold Coast now 3-2-20. The Saints lead is 12 points. Morris might have the grandstand named after him, but the hill on the outer side near the old scoreboard at Marara should now be named after Daniel. Let's head downstairs. Will's War. Will.
St Kilda co-captain Cal Wilkie's just come to the bench in the arms of trainers. Looked like he might have copped a knee to the back in one of those contests there. He's looking all right, just a little bit ginger at the moment. We'll keep an eye on him.
Watching the replay, remarkable by Daniel Rioli.
Had Bradley Hill chasing him too. He's not slow.
Not a slow player at all. It actually had kind of shades of the Jetta Rioli match up in the 2012 grand final. It was. Ball back in the middle. Marshall and Moyle go at it. Comes down to McRae. Ball spills out the Suns' way. Petrarca tried to soccer it forward. Burns the end just on hands and knees, tried to slap it away. It came to Anderson for the Suns. Toe pokes one out to Noble. Picks it up straight towards goal. Kicks on goal and nails it. Oh, the Suns have caught fire and are getting hot in the top end. John Noble kicks his first goal. 3 in a row to Gold Coast. And all of a sudden the margin's back to 6 points. 4-2-26 the Suns. The Saints are 5-2-32. 8.5 played in the second term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Bo McDonald, Cara Antonio. Bit of momentum for the Suns.
Yeah, the ball popped out from the centre bounce contest. Straight out the front door, and then the mids just followed up. Stayed involved. They had good shape. The Noble out wide on the wing. He was able to the ball come out to that big circle there. He was able to be clean number one and then finish from 40 metres out.
Coming off the back of a great game last week as well, Johnny Noble, but dominating clearance at the start of this quarter. Gold Coast plus 3 in clearance and getting on top of hit-outs as well.
Koning wins it down for the Saints. Miller tried to hack it out of mid-air. McRae does the other way for St Kilda. Met by Henry. Back to McRae by hand. Popped it forward, wanted Windhager. Oh, here's Rioli again, bursting onto it. Daniel Rioli. Then a hand pass to Miller. Hand pass to Weller. Moves it inside, forward 50. Chance to go long from long, but he misses to the right-hand side. A minor score within a straight kick now, the Gold Coast Suns. St Kilda's lead cut to 5 points. 10 gone in the second. By the way, 6 running bounces from Daniel Rioli just beforehand.
Pretty impressive effort from Daniel Rioli to set up the Weller goal. The Saints move it down the outer side, off hands of the back of the pack. Jeffrey kicks inboard to Rioli, who goes slightly backwards and across his defensive 50 to Mac Andrew. I was about to say his metres gained are getting right up there too. Rioli, Andrew comes to the grandstand side where Will Powell can mark. Nice kick back inboard on the 45. The centre square to Lombard, who thought about going further across with the switch. Instead, goes inside 50, looking for a marking target. Howard got a fist over the top. The Saints at ground level. The tackle applied. It's going to be a free kick to the Suns for incorrect disposal. It was Sinclair who was tackled. Will Graham got him. And the umpire said he threw the ball.
They just can't get it past really half forward, can they, Bo? St Kilda, it's 7-1 inside 50s this quarter already, and Gold Coast just owning field position and time in forward half.
Yeah, I reckon they would have got the word to lift their tackling pressure in the forward 50, and they've certainly done that at the start of this quarter.
Set shot from Will Graham to put the Suns in front, and just like that, Gold Coast go ahead. 5-3-33 the Suns, 5-2-32 the Saints. Will Graham gets his first before we hear from our experts again. Will Zwar is down on the boundary.
Yeah, Cal Wilkie has officially gone down into the rooms with trainers, so we'll keep an eye on that. Looked like it was lower back. Meanwhile, Daniel Rioli, he also came to the bench. It looked like a bit of an unplanned change there. Obviously, he's been doing a lot of work on that outer wing.
He needs to look after his right hand from bouncing the football too often down that right wing.
He's been good. He's had the 6 touches this quarter, 165 metres gain. He's set up a lot for the Gold Coast Suns off the half-back, but St Kilda just can't get their hands on it. Gold Coast plus 28 in disposals already, Bo.
Yeah, their pressure's really dropped for this first little bit, St Kilda, especially on the ball carrier. They're almost running up to him playing like basketball defence and trying to anticipate where the handball's going instead of going at the ball carrier and letting the other guys do the job around.
Fair to say the Michael Long centre end is the scoring end. The Saints want to try and change that. They win the Clearance in the middle, Garcia kicks long inside forward 50. No mark taken in a pack. Owen tried to pick it up, got it out the side. Garcia again kicks around the body. Andrew got in the way, had it for the Suns, sent beyond defensive 50. Ends up in the hands of Hill, moved it short, and then a little push in the back against O'Connell here by Andrew. We'll see the Saint have the free kick just shy of left half forward. O'Connell will move it short. Kicks inside forward 50 here for St Kilda. At the back of the pack, it'll come out towards Henry. Does keep it in. First touch, cleverly gathered it. Burns off his opponents. There was 3 of them and then finds a target inside forward 50. It comes there to Filippo, who marks. Well, Liam Henry thought for a moment he was in real trouble. Firstly, had to worry about the boundary and then had to worry about 3 Suns. I'm not sure whether he got the ball back to him cleanly from Mason Wood, but it counts according to the officials as a hand pass. Looking to end a run of, there's 4 unanswered goals by the Suns. Filippo has missed, putting it across the face. The Saints' first score of the second term. Scores are level, 5-3-33 apiece. We've travelled 14 minutes into the second term. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport, ABC Local Radio, News Radio, Sport Digital, and streaming on ABC Listen.
Noble received the kick out, goes across by foot to Yulin and now to Andrew. Runs towards right half back. Long high kick down the wing. Silvani came across, got a hand in. Spilt to Sinclair, back to Silvani. Hand pass forward now for the Saints. Ends up in the hands of Max Hall. Hall to Hill, to Sinclair. 55 out, delays the kick. Now goes to the top of the goal square. Henry slipped over. Allowed John Noble to mark. He can kick towards left half back, where his captain, Noah Anderson, awaits. Goes further beyond defensive 50. Finds a teammate in Jepson. Got the blue boots on. Wants to bring the ball back towards the middle of the ground. Noble continued his run, received it, took the mark, played on, kicks towards centre half forward Long. Takes the mark. Attacking edge of the centre square, could almost go towards goal here. Instead tries to pinpoint a pass, was looking for King. And Ryan Burns, a late inclusion, cuts across, takes the mark inside his defensive 50. Scores level still. 15 minutes played in the second term. Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Burns in because the $1 million Saint, Wanganeen Miller, who is here, has been managed for this game. That was the big news before the start of proceedings. Howard goes towards left half back with the kick for St Kilda. Opportunity here for Wood to mark. Assesses what's in front of him with a 45-degree angle kick back inboard. Comes to Sinclair again. He'll look to move it short. This is Hall. Hall. A bit of a run in front of the Morris Rioli grandstand. Kicks inside forward 50. Oh, to Koning in front. Floated across. Well, players in front of him. It is a good contested mark for Tom de Koning, who will go back and have a shot from a 45-degree angle to the right and put boot to ball from 40 out.
He's certainly shown his athleticism tonight. He's got terrific flexibility in his hips. He throws that knee up and it takes him up nice and high. And that's what the Saints need, some contested marks inside 50.
Up against Oscar Adams then. Great grab. Tom de Koning. Kick is on its way. It needs to curl back. It doesn't. He misses left. Started that way, didn't swing back. Enough to put the Saints in front, though. They're up by 1. 5-4 plays 5-3. And we've gone 16 minutes into the second term.
Noble finding plenty of the footy. Disposal 16 coming up for him. Out of the left back pocket, kicks up the wing. Moyle in the middle of the big pack, couldn't mark. Reed at ground level did well. Spun away, handball to Petrarca. Now to Graham. Graham's handball misses Tuke Miller. Stocker goes and gets it first. Rode the tackle. Handball to Sinclair. Down low. Gave it straight back to the Suns. Jepson is tackled by Garcia. Callum Wilkie has re-emerged from the race. Uzua's going to keep a close eye on him as he prepares to see if he can come back on from the restart. Stocker taken to ground. Spilt the way of Max Hall for the Saints. Kick up the wing. Big fist in there from Caminiti in front of Collins. Ball out of bounds right on the interchange gates. Wilswar downstairs. Can you see Callum Wilkie down on the boundary?
Yeah, still just having a quick chat with the trainer. Did a quick little run through there. No official word from St Kilda yet. Looks like he's up and about and preparing to come back on the field.
Thrown back in, slap forward by Moyle. Saints have numbers out after it. McRae got it to Garcia with the pink boots on. Garcia with those boots sends it back towards right half forward, punched again down by Collins, and then comes out towards the side and tackled and losing possession. Lombard, the Saints will get the free kick here. Wood did the tackling, moved it on to Hall, kicked into the right forward pocket, 50 out from goal, marked there by Hill. Brad Hill towards full forward, big pack up, punch came from Noble, out towards it is Powell, tapped it, or tried to his own advantage. Henry overread it, then socked away by Weller. That's covered about 60, maybe 70 metres, just hacked towards the outer wing. Reid kept it in. Hand pass wasn't great. Sinclair intercepted for the Saints. There's a bit of push and shove, though, and afters. It might come back here. Both Reid and his opponent unhappy. The free kick has gone the way of Reid against Howard. Followed up with a little bit of afters from the tackle. And here is Ethan Reid. Shy of right half forward for the Suns. Kicks into the right forward pocket. No one attacked the football other than the player underneath it, who was Liam O'Connell, who in the end takes an uncontested mark despite there being about 4 players around him. Goes back to Burns at left full back for the Saints. They lead by 1, St Kilda over the Suns. 19 gone in the second.
Burns to the outer wing. Good mark by Marshall. Able to handball quickly to Garcia. Across to Wilson. He spilt it. Under pressure now from Lombard. Goes back to Garcia, who handballed it to Wilson. Wasn't expecting it. Chopped off by Adams. The Suns have it back. Looping handball over the top to Weller. Kick towards half-forward Humphrey. Strong mark going back in front of O'Connell. Takes it 49 metres out. Has a player inboard. Guess who? Daniel Rioli, who marks 45 metres out and straight away says, you know what? I reckon I'll have a shot at goal.
Good vision there to come back inside as well. Rioli, God, he's been good tonight. 15 touches for the game. Obviously those running bounces and 6 for the quarter.
He and Noble combined for I think over 800 metres gained already, or around that mark, is incredible in the first half. Daniel Rioli, 45-degree angle. He will kick from outside 50. Strikes it pure. Strikes it true. A Rioli in the top end kicking goals. How about that? Daniel Rioli gets his first. 6-3-39 the Suns. They move back ahead of St Kilda 5-4-34. We've travelled 20 minutes in this second term. Before we hear from our experts, down to the boundary, Will Zwar.
Ben Long has just come limping to the boundary line as well. His left knee already heavily taped up. We'll keep an eye on him. Cal Wilkie, meanwhile, still in the hands of doctor and physio, but looking like he's preparing to come back onto the ground.
It's a great contested mark by Humphreys there and faced up, like you said, Cara, and saw Rioli just streaming from behind the ball. Someone really got a bit of skin on him as he's coming through there. You know he's a dangerous player, and when he starts running hard, I think he's looking at 15 uncontested possessions. And you just can't have a dangerous play like him getting the ball uncontested.
So 441 metres gained for Rioli, 442 for Noble.
Saints win the tap down in the middle. Chance to swirl around here. Hall kicking towards Brad Hill, who marks it right half forward. Pops it on the boot, short. Gets it on again here to Flanders. 61 out from goal, right up against the boundary, right half forward. De Koning wants it long, calling for it. Flanders will put it towards the teeth of goal. Big fly from everywhere, off hands. Andrews at the back, forced to backtrack, and he takes it across the goal line for a minor score. So Suns lead cut to 4 points. So St Kilda kicked 5 unanswered goals. Gold Coast have now kicked 5 unanswered goals, and they're back in front to lead by those 4 points. There have been 4 separate lead changes in the game so far, as the Suns will bring it away down the outer side. Here's Joel Jeffrey taking control and kicking it towards right half forward. Oh, Silvani crashed into Graham. Ball spilled out. Came eventually to Marshall. Oh, Carroll rather, spun out of trouble. Gave it again towards Wilson. Now to Hill. Sweeping hand pass forward again from the Saints. To Owens. Back again to Carroll from left half forward. Inside forward 50. De Koning marks. Looks to play on immediately. Henry and Hill mark closer to goal. He's no more than 25 out. Tight angle though, marking hard up against the left forward pocket boundary.
Good handball chain there from St Kilda. Really good link in, running in waves. Great vision by De Koning.
Liam Henry, one out of bounds on the full, 1 goal tonight. He snaps with the right, he's curling it around, not enough. So he just needs the poster for the full house. He's now got it behind. Gold Coast's lead cut to 3 points, 22 gone in the second term. 5-6 the Saints, 6-3 the Suns.
Rioli has kick-in duties as well. Goes short to Collins. Dangerous kick up towards Oscar Adams, who was infringed by Darcy Wilson. Wins the free kick. Defensive edge of the centre square. Goes wide. McAndrews made a run. Got away from Liam Henry here. Takes the mark on the outer wing. Thought about going inboard. Stepped off his line, said the umpire. So has to handball to Anderson under pressure. Kicks it high up the wing. Big fly behind Graham. Couldn't mark. Spilts a hill at the back. He handballed looking for Howard. Couldn't grab it initially. Now lost it. Graham inboard to Humphrey to the Suns. To Petrarca. 40 metres out. Handball forward. Davies had it. Dropped it. Then tackled without it by O'Connell. Unlucky for the Saints. Slippery ball. Davies couldn't hold on, and in the end paid dividends for him. The tackle lingered. He wins the free kick. Right forward pocket. Kick from about 35, 40 metres out. Very tight angle.
Again, same kind of thing. Link up by hands. Keep the ball alive. Unfortunate free kick, but it was there. Just held on way too long.
They've already kicked 5 goals in a row. The Suns. And Alex Davies, number 5, wants to make it 6. He does. From that side angle, Davies works it through. The Gold Coast Suns have 6 goals in a row, and their lead is out to 9 points. 7-3, 45 Gold Coast and Kilda. 5-6, 36. 24 played in the second quarter. Down on the boundary, Wilswar.
Yeah, Ben Long has been taken not only from the cool rooms underneath the grandstand here, but all the way over into Suns HQ in the Michael Long Centre. So it looks like he's going to be assessed pretty heavily for that left knee.
Not great news for the Suns. But that is an Alex Davies goal, 6 in a row. Ross Lyon to be fuming, Cara, though.
Yes, they'll certainly be disappointed after themselves kicking 5 in a row to be able to let the Gold Coast Suns get back into this half of footy. It's been a great effort from the Gold Coast. They've got their nose over the ball, and then when they've done that, they've been able to use the hands, and like you said, Cara, they've able to link up a lot better than Saints.
Quarter time at the MCG, the Cats lead 5-3-33 to Collingwood's 3-4-22. St Geelong by 11 points over Collingwood at quarter time. St Kilda in the clearance and bring it out towards the wing. They kick towards right half forward. Filippo tackled beautifully by Yule and got him, and he wins the free kick for holding the ball. You'd be unhappy if you're sitting or standing down at the airport end to the right of our broadcast position, because there's been 12 goals kicked so far, and pretty much all of them have been at the long centre end. Kick towards the commentary wing. Jepson, or Goulburn rather, tried to shovel a hand pass forward, and then McRae underneath it, hand passed away and put it straight over the boundary line. That'll be the lasso rule. So McRae won't be happy about it at all. Allows Petrarca with the kicking duties to run inboard. Kicks towards full forward. Big mark up. Whistle on the play. What's the umpire calling? Free kick here for the Suns. Going the way of Lockie Goulburn. Or is it? No. Jamara Ugle-Hagan, I beg your pardon.
Does it feel like a raffle with the free kicks at the
I was
moment?
just about to say, and all players are looking, going, whose ball is it?
I was thinking the same thing. Jamara Ugle-Hagan kicked 4-2 this season. Should kick this from point blank range. Oh, the commentator's curse, but I can't accept full responsibility, because the moment it came off the boot, it was always heading straight to the left-hand goal post. He crashed it into the post. Suns lead is out to 10 points now. 27 gone in the second term. 7-4 plays 5-6.
That's the second poster from position that he shouldn't have missed from. Jamara Ugle-Hagan. Sinclair kicks up the wing. Raffle tickets for sale. No, ball off hands, out of bounds. Every time I see players crash down now, I just think, what number ticket do you have? Red 3. Free kick Suns. It's been a bit confusing. A lot of free kicks given so far. Shallow throw in from the boundary. Anderson, his kick was partially smothered. O'Connell got their first tackle without it by Davies. Free kick the Saints. Flanders quick to take the advantage. Kick up towards half forward. Marshall going back, couldn't mark. Collins was there. Rioli gathered, handball to the big man in Moyle, just got it away under pressure to Noble, gives it wide to Jepson, back to Noble, here he goes, bright yellow boots on, spears a kick up the wing, mark taken by Ugle-Hagan, Noble's going to continue running, could get it back here, Ugle-Hagan runs, draws the defender, terrible handball, eventually got it to Noble, who kicks inside, forward 50, Petrarca, one-on-one v Sinclair. Sinclair got a hand on it to Miller, back to Ugle-Hagan, under pressure. The ball is smothered, it hits the hands and goes out of bounds. They'll toss it back into the left forward pocket. John Noble, I'm just going to put it out there, 528 metres gained. The record is 1,169. He's almost halfway there, and he's already a member of the 1,000 metres gained club.
Throw it in, Marshall front position, won it down inside his defensive 50 for the Saints. Petrarca looked to get a hand pass out, came again to Goulburn. His kick was smothered, wrapped up in there. Great smother by Marshall too. Goulburn looking to kick towards goal, and then he followed it up with a terrific tackle. Windhager in there as well, throwing up once more. Saints will eventually get the clearance. Comes off the boot of Sinclair towards the commentary wing. Tapped nicely to his own advantage. Cooper Sharp and almost steps out over the boundary line. Just stayed in place. Swept the hand pass back into De Koning. Tackled by Andrew, and that's holding the ball. Got the hand pass away, but the whistle had already gone. Andrew getting the footy for the Suns. He'll have it at left half back. He'll go back inside his defensive 50. Newland marks. Goes to Anderson. Marking between fullback and centre half back. Flares it out to the right-hand side. Oh, mark was dropped here by Jeffrey under pressure immediately. Siren has saved him though. And that is the end of a very entertaining first half of football. St Kilda, after kicking 5 unanswered goals in the first half and going to a quarter-time break with a lead of 25 points, the Gold Coast Suns have responded with the next 6 unanswered goals. In that quarter, Gold Coast kicked 6 goals, 3 to no goals, 4. Remarkable. The Suns taking the advantage to lead by 10 points at half-time. 7-4-46 to the Saints, 5-6-36. The goal kickers look like this. For the Suns, they're all individual goal kickers. Noble, Petrarca, Davies, Weller, Rioli, Graham and King. While for St Kilda, Darcy Wilson's got a couple. The other goal kickers, Owens, Henry and Hall. It was a second term highlighted by a wonderful run down the outer wing. 6 bounces of the footy from Daniel Rioli. It led to Weller taking a mark and kicking a goal, but that was something to behold. And we've got a close one at half-time as the Suns look to make it a 9th straight victory at this venue, at Marara. They're up by 10 points over the Saints. Let's get the thoughts of our experts, Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Well, they had their opportunities, St Kilda. You look at the scoreboard, 6 goals, 3 to Gold Coast and the 4 points to the Saints. They still had 8 inside 50s and 5 marks that quarter inside forward 50. Just could not convert down that end of the ground. For me, Gold Coast just came out after that quarter-time break and just dominated clearance, dominated field position and was set up really, really nicely. And off the back of Rioli and Noble both having 9 touches each, and a goal and 500 metres gained combined. There's just no chase from the high half forwards from the Saints, is there, Bowie? There's no pressure coming from behind, and at the moment they're able to do whatever they want to do.
And it's funny you should say 500 metres gained combined because they beat St Kilda by 500 metres gained that quarter. They really started to get their run going. It seems St Kilda were able to do that in the first quarter. Whichever team's able to get a bit of run going, move the ball. Look, Gold Coast also plus 17 uncontested possessions, which shows that as well, their ability to keep following up, get out of the contest to the next one as well, quicker than the opposition. And I think the Saints' pressure factor inside their forward 50 really dropped. Every time they kicked it in there was a massive nest. lots of players, and then when it spilt out, Gold Coast were able to go, and then that's where that run come from. They were able to keep possession with that first kick out of the defensive 50, and then the troops just turned up in Rioli and Noble, like you said, and it's one thing to be able to run and get the metres game, but you've got to have skill and use the ball, because if you turn that kick over, you're in all sorts, and Gold Coast were able to do that. Really a game of 2 quarters. And it's going to be an interesting second half, because I think some really good learning points there for St Kilda. Okay, what did we do in the first quarter, and what didn't we do in the second quarter? And you can go in at half time and adjust and come back out and give it your best.
Saints as well, with Wilkie off for a majority of that quarter. He obviously didn't touch the ball at all, but he's the general back there, isn't he? He sets them up so well, and they just look a different team when he's out on the park. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully he came back out only for a slight little period, but they really need him out there so he can set him up behind the ball. And when he's out there, that first quarter he dominated, didn't he? And just helped them generate a bit of scoring power from the back half of the ground.
Yep, and I think I'm just looking at the stats now. Look, your Philippou and Owens, those forwards, they haven't had much of a look in the game at all today, and every time I look up, they haven't really got any separation. Like I spoke before, it's just a big nest. They really there needs to be some unrewarded leading from one of them to start to pull the defence apart and get a bit of space in there.
Pressure's been good, though, I think, from both sides, and again, probably the weather and conditions with the humidity has played a part in those slip tackles. And pressure's been good, though. Both teams have been able to score from turnover, 4 goals apiece. But the one, obviously, Gold Coast getting on top in stoppage. They've scored the 3 goals from stoppage, and only St Kilda with the 1. So, again, a little bit of work to do for Ross and his troops about how they're going to be able to get back on top and just own the ball and be a little bit cleaner forward half of the ground.
It's not quite a glass case of emotion that the Saints are in at the moment, but they are in a cool room. You can spot them chatting to each other.
Like Hannibal Lecter's cellmate.
A little bit like that, yeah.
Can I put on the agenda talking about metres gained? So, John Noble, 528.
Yeah.
When he played against Hawthorn last year, at Marara Oval, he had 1,001 and joined the 1 kilometre club. So he's ahead of that record at the moment to beat his personal best at the same ground. And as I mentioned, 1,169 is the record. If the game opens up anymore, John Noble might be eyeing Aaron Hall's record, who he broke that, previously held by who? Joel Bowden, who's, of course, a big name up in the Northern Territory.
And will join us next week for Gold Coast versus Port Adelaide. Just watching some vision on one of the screens here of the tracking device being taken out of John Noble's jumper. Certainly it'll have some big numbers for him at the moment. So just repeating here, it is half-time. Gold Coast lead by 10 points. In the other game, midway through the second term, Geelong 6-4-40 to Collingwood 4-5-29. So we'll keep you up to date with that one. And in the NRL game taking place at the moment, the Seagulls lead the Broncos by 12 points. That's almost on half-time. 16 points to 14, the Seagulls over the Broncos. But wherever you're listening, and good to have you with us, wherever you are on ABC Local Radio, of course on News Radio, Sport Digital, and streaming on ABC Listen. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Let's pause and get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. Early results in the Farrer by-election are showing a dramatic swing away from the Liberals, with One Nation leading the count. The Liberals only have around 10%, which is an almost 40% swing against them since 2025. ABC News spoke with Nationals leader Matt Canavan about the National Party's prospects tonight. The National Party hasn't contested the seat since 2001, after Susan Lee won the seat for the Liberals. Mr Canavan says he recognises that people are disillusioned with politics and the political class.
Thought it was very important that I come here and hear directly from the people, take it on the chin, and certainly I've got that feedback about how things haven't been going the way people want, and I knew that when coming into the leadership, but it's been even more important to hear that directly from so many voters.
A descendant of members of Australia's first ever parliament says he's happy to have visited Melbourne's Royal Exhibition Building today on the 125th anniversary of the opening of the nation's first federal parliament. The event in 1901 saw 12,000 people pack into the building to witness the future King of England, George, Duke of Cornwall and York, officially open Parliament. Hundreds of people attended again today, viewing artefacts, including the Duke's horse-drawn carriage. Dr. Matt Harvey says he has an intimate connection with the anniversary.
I had two ancestors in the room. One was Attlee Hunt, who was first Secretary of the Department of External Affairs and Prime Minister and Cabinet. He's my great-grandfather. And Robert Harper, who was a member of the first Federal Parliament. He's my great-great-grandfather. So I wanted to come along and say hi to them.
Fuel prices have remained lower than expected over the week, with motorists encouraged to take advantage while they can. The average retail cost of unleaded fuel is around $1.80 a litre across the country, with diesel sitting at around $2.30. NRMA spokesman Peter Curry says people should fill up now before prices rise again.
We don't know when it's going to turn. The likelihood is it will turn soon, based on the fact that oil prices have gone up. That just hasn't flowed on to the wholesale price or the terminal gate price yet in Australia. And we hope that the retail prices stay low as long as possible, because families are starting to get some relief.
Now to some breaking news, and the ABC projects that One Nation has won the Farrer by-election. David Farley becomes the first One Nation candidate ever elected to the House of Representatives. He is also the first member for Farrer who does not represent either the Liberal Party or the National Party. The Liberals have failed to hold on to the vast rural New South Wales seat of their former leader Susan Lee. She resigned from Parliament in February after being defeated by Angus Taylor in a leadership challenge. One Nation have been ahead of the Liberals in national polls for months. The CSIRO says it still needs to cut up to 350 jobs despite more than $387 million in additional funding from the federal government. The National Science Agency will spend the funds on projects relating to medical research, pandemic preparedness and advanced technology development. CSIRO Chief Executive Doug Hilton says the financial boost announced today gives remaining staff essential stability.
It allows investment into our facilities, our equipment and our cyber security, and it provides confidence to our staff that they have the long-term ability to do the creative science that this country so desperately needs.
Police have charged an unlicensed driver over a high-speed pursuit through Canberra's north. Ruby Thomas reports.
Officers say they clocked an Audi driving 130 kilometres an hour in an 80 zone at Acton yesterday morning. They activated their lights and sirens, but the car didn't stop, speeding off towards Belconnen. Police deployed tyre spikes, but the pursuit continued, with the Audi allegedly running a red light and driving on footpaths in Macquarie and Cook. Police say a member of the public had to jump out of the way to avoid getting hit. A 42-year-old man was eventually arrested after fleeing the car on foot. He's been charged with a string of offences, including aggravated dangerous driving, and is due to face court today.
In sport, Adelaide United and Auckland FC have played out a 1-1 draw in the first leg of their A-League men's soccer semi-final in wet conditions at Mount Smart Stadium. Auckland's Luke Brook opened the scoring midway through the first half before Harry Crawford ensured that scores would be level heading into next weekend's second leg. And in our breaking news, the ABC is projecting that One Nation has won the Farrer federal by-election.
Guy Montgomery is back with a new assistant.
Sam Campbell, take the job. What is the job?
The new season of Guy Montgomery's Guy Mont Spelling Bee. Wednesday nights on ABC TV and ABC iView.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Rioli to Miller, then to Rioli, takes a bounce and a second bounce and a third. He's still going, a fourth and a fifth. Remarkable, a sixth. Rioli gets a kick away forward of the wing, inside forward 50, no mark taken. That was something truly special. This could be two. Humphrey gathers, kicks around the body, Weller marks at full forward. What a run from Daniel Rioli. He just kept going and going and going. At a ground where the grandstand is named after Maurice Rioli, they should put something on the other side of the ground out the outer and name it after him after a performance like that. Lachie Weller has kicked 4 straight this season. He's kicked 5 straight. And the Suns have kicked
Back-to-back goals. Morris might have the grandstand named after him, but the hill on the outer side near the old scoreboard at Marara should now be named after Daniel.
Petrarca got a soccer it forward. Burns the end just on hands and knees, tried to slap it away. It came to Anderson for the Suns. Toe pokes one out to Noble, picks it up straight towards goal, kicks on goal and nails it. Lombard, who thought about going further across the switch, instead goes inside 50, looking for a marking target. Howard got a fist over the top. The Saints at ground level. The tackle applied. It's going to be a free kick to the Suns for incorrect disposal. It was Sinclair who was tackled. Will Graham got him. Set shot from Will Graham to put the Suns in front, and just like that, Gold Coast go ahead. Humphrey, strong mark going back in front of O'Connell, takes it 49 metres out, has a player inboard, guess who? Daniel Rioli, who marks 45 metres out and straight away says, you know what, I reckon I'll have a shot at goal. He will kick from outside 50, strikes it, Hewer, strikes it true. A Rioli in the top end kicking goals. How about that? Daniel Rioli gets his first.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
So Gold Coast leads St Kilda by 10 points at halftime at Marara. The 31st time that this ground has hosted an AFL game. The 10th time that the Gold Coast Suns, well, they've been here 10 times previously and they've won their past 8. At the moment, they look the goods to continue on, despite St Kilda being dominant in the first quarter when they led by 25 points. But Gold Coast now, after 6 unanswered goals, leading by 10 points. What is it like boundary side? We're watching the Gold Coast Suns mascots, Sky, doing her business downstairs. Also downstairs for us, Will Zwar. G'day, Will.
G'day, and it's still a very lovely 28 degrees down here. Humidity's actually risen to 70%, so I imagine it's going to be just as slippery, just as warm in the second half coming up as we had in the first half. Now, you've been mentioning that most of those goals have gone to the left of your radio dial. That is towards the Michael Long Centre. Somewhat against trend, there's a bit of a local legend, a local tale, if you like, up here, that the right of screen, the right of your radio dial, towards the airport is where you want to be kicking. It's just somewhat of a trend where most of the goals are kicked, particularly in the local competition up here during the wet season, during the summer months. And a big part of that is there's about a 50-metre gap between the Morris Rioli grandstand and that Michael Long Centre, with a big wind tunnel going through. Think back to 2019 and Sam Wiedemann for the D's had a shot late which faded, got carried across the wind and the D's went down to the Crows. Now, we saw late in that first quarter, Rowan Marshall, he had a shot. I think that was more of a shank than anything. But yes, that trend is certainly going against what we usually see up here in Darwin. Now, on the injury front, we saw Cal Wilkie. He was taken down to the rooms holding his lower left back. He's come back, had a few run-throughs, had a few jumps on the interchange with the doctor and the physio. He went back out to one of footy's toughest tasks, straight to Ben King, so he'll be right for the second half. Meanwhile, Ben Long for the Suns, he was looking in a little bit of strife. He came off with a pretty significant hobble to his left knee that was already heavily strapped and heavily bandaged. He also, after a couple of minutes, took his boot off and was hobbling over to Suns HQ in that Michael Long Centre. But I've been told by the Suns team that he is right and raring to go for this second half. And what better crowd for him, his home crowd here in Darwin.
Good on you, Will. Andrew Dillon in the house. Not getting the reception that he got at Adelaide a couple of rounds before. We're very happy to have him up in the top end. Andrew Dillon, the boss, the CEO of the AFL. Quick score check for you from the game at the MCG. Closing stages of the second term. Geelong a 6-4-40 to Collingwood 4-8-32. But the Magpies have got a shot on goal from pretty much right in front, and it's in the hands of the, well, in 2 weeks' time, he'll be the game's record holder. He's currently equal alongside Brent Harvey. Scott Pendlebury will go back and have a shot. As soon as he does so, we'll tell you the score and we'll get Mitch Turner to update the numbers for you in this game. The Suns warming up back out on the ground at Marara. Clint Wilden with you alongside Mitch Turner, Cara Antonio and Beau McDonald. And he's kicked the goal and he's been swamped by his teammates, Scott Pendlebury. Not just for kicking a goal in what is a record equaling game for him, but also to bring the Magpies back to within 2 points. Geelong 6-4, Collingwood 5-8. So the Cats by 2 points with about 5 minutes to play before half-time. Mitch Turner, speaking of numbers, what do they say in front of you here with the Suns and the Saints at Marara on ABC Sport.
Some of the key scene numbers: contested possessions, St Kilda edging ahead by 2 over the Suns. The clearances, they lead that as well. St Kilda 18-10. Interestingly, the tackle count's been a little bit of bruise-free footy at time, 15 apiece, just 30 for the game. The inside 50s levelled up a bit more that quarter, 23-21 the way of St Kilda. The hitouts 13-9 the Saints' way as well. Individually, John Noble, 19 touches, 528 metres gained and a goal. Daniel Rioli, 18 touches, 466 metres gained and a goal. Those two are dominating. Noah Anderson with 16 touches and then 15 for Hewland and Miller. For the Saints, Brad Hill, 17 disposals for him. Sinclair has 15. Max Hall has 12. Garcia and Marshall have 10 apiece. The score, though, 7-4-46 the Suns to the Saints 5-6-36, a 10-point margin, as you said, Clint. Only one goal kicked to the airport end. It was the 3rd minute of the game as well. It's been a long time if you're a fan down that end, and wasn't the most impressive of goals. It barely got to the line from Ben King. So if you're down that end, maybe jump to the other end and see if you can change your fortunes.
That was the little dribble kick as well. So 11 of 12 goals kicked to the long centre end. By the way, half-time at Brookvale Oval, the Seagulls in the NRL lead the Broncos 16 points to 4 at half-time in that game. And the results earlier today in the AFL, Sydney by 8 points over North Melbourne at the Docklands, and at Giants Stadium, GWS beat the Bombers by 14 points. And back out on the ground here, the Gold Coast Suns, they lead by 10. Remarkable change, these runs that we've had, whereas, as I mentioned a couple of times, Gold Coast kicked the first, the Saints kicked the next 5 going into quarter time to lead by 25. Then Gold Coast came out and have kicked, at the moment, they're on a run of 6 unanswered goals to lead by those 10 points. And 4 lead changes so far. Really keen to see what happens from here. We're just watching some replays of when Ben King got the knee up high into the back of Callum Wilkie. You can understand why Wilkie needed some treatment. He's absolutely done. He's now sitting down on the bench. Doesn't have the jacket on yet. They haven't changed the colour on the Champion Data scoreboard, but he looks in real strife. He's shaking his head.
Wasn't part of the warm-up with the Saints on the field just then. Hasn't actually been to the bench all year before tonight. 100% game
too warm
time.
for a jacket, probably.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Take the Guernsey off.
Yeah, that's right. He could put the polo on instead, but it would look, to all intents and purposes, that he's done for the game. Second half underway. Here's Mitch Turner for you.
The Saints win the first clearance through Garcia. They're kicking to the long centre end. Off hands. It comes to Daniel Rioli. Free kick given, though. Rioli has the ball slapped away from him. It's going to Mitch Owens for a hold. Just forward to the wing on the grandstand side. Chips into the pocket. Lead coming from Sharman. Takes it on the chest. Set shot coming up. Tight angle to the left. Will kick from 45 metres out.
For what it's worth, it's official.
Yeah.
Black line gone through Wilkie's name. He's done for the night.
Big knee from Ben King to that lower back area. One to watch for Callum Wilkie. Of course, the best and fairest winner, an All-Australian. Speaking of important players, Cooper Sharman has ball in hand with the Saints. It's a good drop punt on goal from the tight angle. It's always narrow, though. Minus score to open proceedings in the second half. 5-7-37 St Kilda. Gold Coast 7-4-46. 9-point margin restored opening minute of the third quarter.
So their last 5 scoring results have all been behind the Saints, as the Suns move it down the outer side. Umpire sponsor free kick. It's coming here to King against Howard. King moves it inboard and has it stolen away. Philippou with the uncontested mark, gets it onto Windhager, sweeps the ball forward. Wood able to get a hand pass away under pressure, but only as far as Hewland. He gets his hand pass forward for the Suns. It went to Anderson. Hand passes back, met there by the big fella in Collins. His hand pass stolen by Wood. Sloppy play at the moment on the outer side of the ground. Noble's there, tackled to ground by Wood. Right half forward for St Kilda.
They're a high handball team. We know that. Gold Coast just probably needed to get a bit of territory there and put it on the boot, get some ascendancy forward half of the ground.
If you've just joined us, of course, Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera, the superstar for the Saints, Best and fairest winner and All-Australian last year. It was a late change. He's managed. He's out of this game. Ryan Burns coming back in from the ball up. Moyle got it down. Hack kick forward for the Suns. Didn't go too far, only into the hands of Wood, who sends it back inside the forward 50. Kamenides over the top of it, so too Collins. Umpire says we can't sort this out. We'll ball it up deep in the right forward pocket. Moss Lyon got plenty to think about at the moment. Moyle bounced off his shoulder. Going to ground then was Ewan. Ball goes across the boundary line. Pressure coming again from Caminiti. So the boundary umpire will unfurl. Right forward pocket. Michael Long centre end of the ground to the left of our broadcast position in the grandstand. Thrown back in. De Koning got it down to Miller. Tried to get a hand pass out the side. Locked in again here. Saints appealing for holding the ball. Would have to be not enough effort to get it out, but Collins was wrapped up immediately. He got it. No chance of getting rid of that. So they throw it up again. De Koning. A bit more telling tap, but it comes down here to Ewan. Kicks the Suns beyond defensive 50. Rising for it long. Couldn't mark on the deck. Stolen away by Owens by a fellow teammate of the Saints, but again it won't come out, so a ball up again. Still at right half forward for St Kilda. It's the Suns who lead by 9 points, 3.5 gone in the first.
To Koning, taps it down to Flanders. Quick kick from the 50, looking for Caminiti. Can't mark over the top of Collins. Follows up at ground level though, dribbles it from the pocket and misses. To the right, couldn't produce the miraculous. Minor score to St Kilda, a second for the quarter, 5-8-38 the Saints. The Suns are 7-4-46 as they send the ball back up the broadcast wing.
So 6 behinds in a row now for St Kilda. They've got possession of the football again. They have to go back by hand through Wilson, then to Stocker. Moving it on to Flanders. The former Sun will kick up the middle of the ground, inside attacking 50. That is a good mark. Rising up is Oscar Adams in his 14th game. Ex-St Kilda player. Going defensive 50, works out here to Anderson. Messy kick, came back to him, picked it up a second time. Kicks down the wing, out of side. Anderson involved, it goes inside forward 50 now with Petrarca to Reid. Left full forward, hands it off to King. Oh, the kick was smothered first time. Great desperation from the Saints by Silvani. It spilled back to King. Silvani followed up, wrapped him up, took him to ground.
We certainly saved his team there because the Gold Coast just brought it down that wing with absolute ease and just relying on their defenders.
Should have been a goal for the Suns. Silvani saving the day. Umpires spotted a free kick. It's going back here to De Koning, who have it at full back. Suns lead is 8 points, 5 gone in the opening term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner in commentary.
To Koning, long beyond defensive 50, going to ground was Adams. Allowed Sharman to juggle the mark. Kicks further afield to Filippo. Here go the Saints. Handball to Garcia, forward of the wing. Kicks inside forward 50. Windhager going back. Powell read it best. Got there first. Takes the mark. Suns have it back. Ships towards centre half back. Anderson marks. Tackled by Wood as he marked. Pleaded for a 50 for a moment. Wasn't forthcoming. So instead, plays on. Goes down the outer side to Noble. Another possession for him. Ships wide. Able to find Adams. Just inside the boundary line. Noble, 21 disposals. Has it again. This time goes laterally and backwards to Powell. Just beyond defensive 50. Long kick to the grandstand side. Dangerous kick coming across. Sharman couldn't take the mark. Allowed McAndrew to sweep on over the Suns. His handball missed Lombard. Gathered by Sinclair for St Kilda. Handball to Sharman. To Burns. To Wilson. Running through the middle of Marara. Inboard by hand to Garcia. Goes wide. And for the time being, they slow it down a touch as Hall marks and chips it ahead to Carroll.
And Carroll stabs the ball short. It'll bounce. Not what he wanted at all. Met coming the other way by Graham. Goes by hand to the Suns to Miller. Miller back to Ewan. Kicks towards the boundary and the outer side. It's off hands and over for a throw-in. The Saints going up to now 40 minutes since their last goal. It was at the 26-minute mark of the opening term. Since that time, the Suns have kicked 6 unanswered. The Saints have kicked 6 behinds in a row. Ball spun back in, outer side of the ground. De Koning with a more telling tap. Comes out in the direction of Garcia. The pink boots, he picks it up to Wood, to DeConing by hand. Dangerous hand pass. Long intercepts. Gets it away to Humphries. Hand pass to Miller under pressure from Wood. Lost possession. Ball hit the deck again. Now with the Saints, they've got numbers and a chance to go forward. Burns involved, bursting through. Wilson kicks into the right forward pocket. Collins came out to meet it, punched it away. DeConing went up, couldn't gather. Ewlands could. Got it for the Suns down in the direction of Rioli and then out towards Adams, who got knocked. And he'll get the free kick, despite the fact Caminiti, who is the player who's infringed, has come a little bit worse for wear. He's got blood pouring from his nose. Suns, meantime, show no sympathy, and fair enough too. It goes to Andrew. Yeah, Caminiti into the back, so he's drawn a cut to his face. Just having a look on the replay as Suns look to move it down the commentary wing. Marked there by King. Strong hands. Kick out towards right half forward. Here's another opportunity to build again as it's marked by Will Graham.
Graham looking for an option inside forward 50. Has a lead from Long, who had all the space. It ricochets off his chest, goes out of bounds. Will be a boundary thrown in the right forward pocket. Should have been a shot at goal for Ben Long. Took a nice grab in Darwin last year, much to the delight of the local fans. It's down the end of the Michael Long centre. It's at the other end at the moment. Ball tossed back in off hands of both the ruck when it rolls out of bounds at the right half forward.
By the way, half-time at the MCG, the Cats lead. They're up by 10, 7-6-48 to Collingwood 5-8-38. So just defeating Geelong by 10 points over the Pies, half-time at the MCG.
Here at Marara, the Suns lead the Saints by 8 points. Shallow ball thrown back in. It got through both rucks. Filippo overran it. Ball comes out towards Carroll. He can't gather. It was Wilson. And now Windhager applies the tackle on Tuke Miller. Ball will be tossed up right half forward. Moyle gets a hand down towards Davies. Whistle blows. Free kick going the way of St Kilda.
Same thing. All players looking around, waiting for the umpire to point which direction and whose free kick it was.
It was ticket number 25, red, white, black. It goes to Matthias Filippo, who goes short to McRae. Back to Filippo, back to McRae. Handball in the middle of the ground. Wilson can go forward to Carroll by hand. Now to Flanders, the former Sun. Now a Saint. Kicks inside 50 in front. Owens did everything he could. Couldn't mark against Collins. It spills to Powell, who comes outside 50 to Moyle, who can handball to the run of Miller.
Miller, not immediately sure where he wants to go. Had lots of options, and that was the worst of them. He turned it over. DeConing marking on the broadcast wing, and then he turns it over with a dangerous kick back into the middle. Humphries happy to mark that. Humphries for the Suns, out towards right half forward. Kick carried over the top of Will Graham. Oh, met solely by Silvani. He stuck out the arm to try to fend him off. Silvani was having none of that, clattered into him. And then he gets up, Graham, and then knocks Silvani over. Umpires moving in to say, let's all calm down a little bit. Back inboard. You can tell how dewy and slippery it is. Jeffrey dropped the mark, had time to regather, gave it to Jepson, kicks towards right full forward. DeConing front position at the back though for the Saints. Sinclair, kick had to be precise. It was to Filippo, who marks and plays on by hand. Going beyond defensive 50 is O'Connell.
O'Connell able to find Wood, who marks up against Noble beyond right half back. Turns, spears it inboard to centre wing. Hill pushes back a metre off the mark, waiting for a runner to come past. Eventually he had one in Flanders, had a fumble, able to gather it to McRae. Now to Windhager, over the top Henry. Right forward pocket, inboards on the left foot, gets it to Marshall, tried to claim the mark on the half volley. Umpire said play on. Handball to Filippo, back to Windhager. His kick smothered. Andrew gathers at ground level, loses his feet. The turf came out underneath him. Luckily enough for the Suns, he had the composure to handball to Jeffrey. Clearing kick towards Reid, front on contact. They'll win the free kick going against Carroll. A little bit proppy is Ethan Reid. Has the right knee already strapped with a shin pad on as well. And he looks a bit sore, does Ethan Reid. He's hobbling towards the bench. Will Zwar will keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, the Suns go down the wing of hands. Humphrey tries to break through. Silvani catches him. And he punches the turf. Be careful, you put a hole in it, Bailey. It's a free kick to St Kilda. He goes backwards, Silvani to Sinclair.
It's slippery, hot, Difficult conditions for the players, both the footing and the football. Through the middle of the ground it came. Flanders gave it back to Hill. Thumps and killed it towards full forward. Punch came from Collins. Knocked it away out towards the right forward pocket. Here's Wood for the Saints. To Henry. Goes off the outside of the right boot, tumbles it, and that's not where he wanted it to go, I'm sure, but it's worked out perfectly because Wilson has taken an uncontested mark between centre half forward and full forward, about 30 out from goal. He couldn't believe it. Ball just fell in his lap, and he takes the grab as he fell to ground. And as we mentioned before, some concerns there for Reid, who's had to come off the ground for the Suns. We'll make sure Will stays right across that. Looking for their first goal since the 26-minute mark of the opening quarter. Here's Darcy Wilson. He's got 2 to his name. Kicks on its way. It's missed. Another behind. Goodness me. 5-9-39. 7 behinds in a row now for St Kilda. The Gold Coast Suns' lead is 7 points. 13 gone in the third. Let's head to Will's Well. Will?
Ethan Reid headed downstairs into the rooms here, obviously limping off with that knee, heavily strapped as well, so we'll keep an eye on him. As I said, gone down underneath the grandstand.
That knee just, as he came down, dug into the turf, which...
Jarred almost underneath him.
They can be painful, can cause a lot of damage too if you're unlucky. Ball goes down the wing of the Suns. Jepson can't reel it in as Wilson forces him out of bounds right next to the interchange gates. As said, already heavily strapped. And the turf is not the hardest at the moment, but still would be painful for a big man with a lot of weight above it. Ball tossed in from the stoppage. Here we go.
Oh, who's free?
Number 11 in red. Going the way of Touk Miller and the Suns. Free kick goes inside 50. Jamara Ugle-Hagan. He goes up. Couldn't take the mark. Silvani with the Saints at ground level. Kicks it up the wing. Beautiful kick onto the chest of an opponent in Sam Collins. Goes inboard to Mac Andrew. It goes inside the centre square by foot to Joel Jeffrey. I love how he's matched the boots to the jumper. Looks nice by Joel as he goes short. It's a Powell.
There's been a bit of forcings back at time tonight. The way they've turned it around as Powell does go deep inside forward 50. Off hands. King at the back for the Suns. Got there. Hand pass. Couldn't find a teammate. Hall picked it up. He was tackled. Lost possession. Spilled across the boundary line for a throw-in. Good tackle from Jepson. And the Suns, second gamer, taking it as a supplemental selection in 2024. He's 24 years of age. All put back into play. Right forward pocket for the Gold Coast Suns. Moyle won it down. It'll come eventually to Marshall. Got a kick away, but turns it over again. Collins marks it right half forward. Kicks the Suns to Jeffries. Joel Jeffrey. Not sure what to do with it. Decides to go short to Noble, just flaring out in the direction of the outer edge of the centre square. Noble, with the right boot, kicks looking for the lead of Ugle-Hagan. He couldn't mark it, gathered, tempted hand pass, knocked out of his grasp. That'll be incorrect disposal. It'll come back here for the Saints. He'll have the free kick through Darcy Wilson and moves it short to Sinclair, who has it at left half back.
Sinclair goes short as the Saints move it up the grandstand side. Caminiti marked it. He tried to play on then as he lost the ball. It rolled out of bounds. The umpire said it makes no sense because he's returned the ball to him. Either Collins knocked it out of his hands, it's 50, or he dropped the ball trying to give the handball and it's play on. Either way, the Saints have managed to hold possession. Flanders, under pressure from Collins, kicks the Saints inside forward 50. Jeffrey works Sharman out of it. Then takes possession, kicks cross his own defensive goal line. Rioli, a little quieter this quarter. Kicks dangerously in the middle of the 50. Anderson takes the mark. Gets the ball in this position a lot, Noah Anderson. Likes to be the link-up man. Has a player over the top on the wing in Lombard. Able to find him. Plays on quickly. Spears a kick towards centre-half forward. Long marks. He wants to go quickly. Sends the Suns inside forward 50. At the back, Humphrey can't mark. Crashing in was O'Connell. Humphrey roves, gathers, snaps it high up in the air. It's going to fall into the arms of Ben King. Much like the one at the other end, where Henry managed to belly one into the arms of Wilson. On this occasion, it's a Sun. King will take the set shot.
For what it's worth, Caminiti just lost possession of the football. It went across the boundary line. It should have been a throw-in.
Or was it Lasso? Because he almost went to handball.
I prepared to say...
50 or play on?
Yeah, it's just play on. So the ball's gone across and then you just throw it back in.
Meanwhile, Ben King to draw level with Jack Gunston on 30 goals in the Coleman medal race. He doesn't miss too many, Ben King. This is no different. He's got his second. He draws level with Gunston on 30 goals for the season. And the Suns extend their margin to 13 points. 8-4-52 Gold Coast, St Kilda 5-9-39. That is now 7 in a row for Gold Coast. St Kilda still yet to kick a goal since the 26-minute mark of the first term. Cara Antonio, Bo McDonald.
That one will really frustrate the Saints. As I feel like they've had the ascendancy, the inside 50s for this third quarter, and that last kick's just really let them down. And the Gold Coast have hung in there. They didn't let them score, and to go down the other end and then kick a goal, it can be really deflating. So this next little stanza of play, really important for St Kilda, I reckon, to get the centre clearance and get it in their front half.
63% of ball in their forward half this quarter, the Saints. So for only the 3 points, Ross and his crew wouldn't be too pleased with that result.
We'll head down to Will in just a moment. One down by Moyle in the middle for the Suns. Umpire spotted a free kick. It's against Petrarca. Oh, he's thrown that away. That should be 50 against Petrarca. So Garcia's been awarded the free kick and Petrarca has not returned it to him correctly. Dodge one then. Petrarca, long kick inside forward 50 for the Saints. It came off the hands of Marshall down to Garcia, who's got his third. And the Saints have finally ended a run of 7 unanswered goals from the Gold Coast. And their first goal since the 26-minute mark of the opening term. They went straight up the middle. And Darcy Wilson has kicked the goal. Darcy Wilson getting it.
Oh, that's a definite 50 for me. Aggressively throwing the ball back, but again, just kept the ball alive. Well done. Marshall probably should have marked it. And goodbye, Wilson. Right place, right time. Handball, nice snap. Finally, they get reward for effort, St Kilda.
Serious footballer, Darcy Wilson. Still young into his career. Third goal of the night, 7th of the season. Game 49 for him. Ball back in the middle. Falls the way off hands of the rucks to Max Hall. Tumbles the ball towards half forward on the outer side. McRae leads the race there. Handball back over his head to Windhager. Handball over the top to Flanders. The former Sun to 50. Kick across the face of goal. Punched away by Jepson. Does it go through? Just. Sharman tried to keep it in bounds. It goes over the behind line. It is a minus score for St Kilda. They are now, 6-10-46. The Saints, Gold Coast 8-4-52. 6-point margin.
So Sharman back in defence. Rather, at full forward. Under pressure. Somebody get a kick away. Comes out here to Moyle now. He's got it for the Suns at right half back. Glanced inboard and then sends it down the line towards right half forward. Leaping for it, Silvani in front. Humphrey's got the arms free, picked it up for the Suns. Chance to go inside 50 again. That's a lovely kick. Hitting King on the chest from Anderson's foot pass inside attacking 50. And King is marked and he's able to go back here and put himself in front in the Coleman medal race. If he kicks truly from 40 metres out, he'll start just a little bit to the right of being in line with the right-hand goalpost.
Well done to Humphrey there, just kept his feet. Ground ball get. Straight to King. Could have gone inboard to switch lanes, but right decision in the end, forward playing in front.
Here comes Ben King. Looking for a third. Kicks on its way. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's through. Ben King with 3. He now has 31 and he reclaims the lead in the Coleman medal race. Taking it off Jack Gunston, who kicked 6 on Thursday night. The Gold Coast, they respond. They've got their 9th. 9-4-58 to St Kilda 6-10-46. They lead by 12 points, 22 gone in the third.
Tail of the third quarter, 2 shots at goal for the Gold Coast Suns, 2 goals, whereas they've had 5 for the Saints and they've only kicked 1 goal for. just able to lower the eyes there and hit it at the forward coming at the kicker. It's very hard to defend when the forward's leading straight at the kicker, and he's got big long legs. He gets them a couple of metres on you straight away.
Am I correct in saying that he's the only player to kick goals down that end? He's kicked 3?
You are correct.
That is
one in the first quarter. He's kicked 2 this quarter.
Good pickup, Cara.
Going forward, St Kilda. Clearing kick is marked by Hewlin by the Suns. It's and a half back. Goes inside to Anderson. So, I mean, Anderson gets the 45 kick inside a lot. Does he not? Is it just me, Cara?
Yep.
Bo? I feel like he's always the link-up kick.
And he's a good distributor. He's got a great footy IQ and knows exactly where to send the ball next.
Play a bit of a quarterback role, but he doesn't start from behind. He kind of comes back the other way. He goes out wide to Powell. Kicks up to left half forward for the Suns. Off hands, Windhager gets it for St Kilda. Gave it across to Stocker. Now they go inside the middle to Flanders. Goes wider to Windhager. It's too far. The kick over his head. Couldn't get a fingertip on it. Goes out of bounds. And he did not touch that, Marcus Windhager. The umpire thought he did. And Windhager changed his tune. As soon as the umpire said, no, Lasso, it's going to be tossed in, he turned around and said, I definitely touched it. That was not his initial reaction. There will be a boundary thrown on the outer side.
Andrew Dillon's
shaking hands.
Yeah, he's seen enough from people in the front row of the box he's in at the moment.
Here we go. There's a conference going on between boundary umpires, field umpires, and it is going to be a free kick to Gold Coast. He looked that guilty, Marcus Windhager. So Lockie Weller ends up with the free kick for a last disposal over the boundary line. Weller runs into the field of play, kicks it towards left half forward. Big pack flies. No mark taken. Ball at the back. Whistle blown. Who's free kick? It's going the way of the Gold Coast Suns. It's going to Moyle. The big fella might back himself here. Outside 50. Tight angle to the left. Number 23. Number in the AFL that's certainly kicked many a goal over the years for many a club. Ned Moyle hasn't kicked a goal this season, just 2 for his career. This will take his absolute best. I tell you what, he's given it a ride. Ned Moyle had the journey covered, just not the accuracy. 9-5-59 the Suns. The Saints are 6-10-46. 13-point margin. Deep into time on in the third term at Marara Oval. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
The Saints move it out into the left back pocket. Carroll is able to get around an opponent. Takes a running bounce. Moves it down the line. That is a terrific mark to Collins. Leaning backwards, under pressure, one-on-one contest. Collins marks it for the Gold Coast Suns. Twice a best and fairest. Kicks back in the direction it came, but turns it over to Koning. Marks. Black headband on. Put your teeth in, Clint. Blonde locks flowing as he kicks towards left half forward. 2-on-2 battle. Andrew with a touch, spill down the direction of Marshall. Hand pass missed its target in Hall. All taken high. Coming back the other way was Graham. Fringed by Brad Hill. He'll get the free kick and he'll send it back inside his defensive 50 to Andrew. Mac Andrew to the outer side of the ground. Anderson tapped it on cleverly. Rioli bursts onto it and takes a bounce. Kicks towards centre half forward. Spots a teammate. Here's Long. He looks into the left forward pocket. There's Suns there. Weller marks. Well done. Rioli hit the ball with pace on the outer wing. And from that point onwards, the Suns just needed to kick accurately. They did. Now Weller can go back and have a shot from the left forward pocket.
It was the tap for me. Noah Anderson just kept the ball alive. Could have taken possession, but knew he had a runner. Really smart play from Noah Anderson.
Weller's got one tonight. 5 goals for the season from about 47 metres out. He's pushed that to the right-hand side. It misses a minor score. The Suns' lead goes out to 14 points, though. 27 gone in the third. They're 9-6-60. St Kilda still in this, 6-10-46. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport, on ABC Local Radio, on Sport Digital, on News Radio and streaming on ABC Listen. Clint Wilden alongside this man, Mitch Turner, in commentary.
Sinclair shorts a Hall, who played on, kicked it out to the wing for the Saints, straight to Hewland, who goes inboard to Leo Lombard. He plays on. Terrible kick towards Ned Moyle. The big man was never getting down to the grubber. It's turned over. Hill gets it for St Kilda. Through now to Wilson by hand. His handball misses Filippo. Ends up with Hewland again. He turns it over to Petrarca. He turns it over. Now Filippo's tackled by Petrarca. 53 tackles in total for the game between the two sides and 43 free kicks. It's been a very interesting game of football. The umpire just separating Christian Petrarca from a couple of Saints. He's been very fired up tonight as the ball's tapped down in the middle. Hill couldn't gain clean possession for St Kilda. Garcia could. As he handballs forward, the siren will sound and beat them. Maybe lucky for the Suns because Henry had a paddock in front of him heading forward. That'll end the third quarter at Marara Oval. It is the Gold Coast Suns 9-6-60. Playing St Kilda 6-10-46, a 14-point margin as they look for their 9th win in a row in Darwin. Clint Wilden.
So as Mitch said, they lead by 13 points. This is the goal kickers for the Gold Coast Suns. Ben King's got 3, and as Cara Antonio pointed out, the only player to kick goals so far at the airport end of the ground. Gold Coast, John Noble, Christian Petrarca, Alex Davies, Lockie Weller, Daniel Rioli and Will Graham, the other goal kickers. For the Saints, Darcy Wilson has 3 goals and singles to Mitch Owens, Liam Henry and Max Hall. St Kilda led by 25 points at quarter time. From that moment onwards, it's been pretty much all the Suns on the scoreboard. They led by 10 at the half and they've stretched that lead to 13 points by three-quarter time. However, if you're a Saints fan, know that Gold Coast, one of the poorer teams in final terms. They've won just 3 final quarters so far this season. Back with plenty more. We'll hear from our experts as well, Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald. But wherever you're listening on ABC Local Radio, News Radio, Sport Digital and streaming on ABC Listen, look for the AFL Extra button. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
There's no doubt that country music is bigger than ever right now. Join me, Outback Tom, as I get you around the artists that are blazing a trail. Listen to Country Club, Sunday night at 6 on ABC Country or anytime you like on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Lombard plays on quickly, spears a kick towards centre half forward, long marks. He wants to go quickly, sends the Suns inside forward 50. At the back, Humphrey can't mark. Crashing in was O'Connell. Humphrey roves, gathers, snaps it high up in the air. It's going to fall into the arms of Ben King. Much like the one at the other end, where Henry managed to belly one into the arms of Wilson. On this occasion, it's a Sun. King will take the set shot. Ben King to draw level with Jack Gunston on 30 goals in the Coleman medal race. He doesn't miss too many, Ben King. This is no different. He's got his second.
Leaping for it, Silvani in front. Humphrey's got the arm free, picked it up for the Suns. Chance to go inside 50 again. That's a lovely kick. Hitting King on the chest from Anderson's foot pass inside attacking 50. King is marked and he's able to go back here and put himself in front in the Coleman medal race. If he kicks truly from 40 metres out, he'll start just a little bit to the right of being in line with the right-hand goalpost. Here comes Ben King, looking for a third. Kicks on its way, looks pretty good off the boot, it's through. Ben King with 3. He now has 31 and he reclaims the lead in the Coleman medal race.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Ross Lyon is giving his St Kilda Chargers some, let's call it, direct feedback at three-quarter time. He's got plenty to say. The Saints, of course, going into this game with a late change. Isaiah Wanganeen-Miller managed. Big out for them coming into the side, Ryan Burns. And they find themselves trailing by 13 points at three-quarter time. Gold Coast 9-5-59, St Kilda 6-10-46. What have our experts made of it? Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald for ABC Sport.
Yeah, for a big chunk of that quarter, St Kilda had a lot of the ball in their forward half of the ground, just couldn't convert and hit the scoreboard. There was a bit of a lack of mid-forward connection. 1 goal, 4, still had a number, they were +2 for inside forward 50s. And then all of a sudden, Gold Coast get on the end of a couple and kick 2 goals, 2 down the other end. So, no doubt, we've just seen on screen Ross not happy with his troops at 3-quarter time. Just over-handballing it at times, St Kilda. We know that they're a high kick, number 2 in the comp for their kicks. That's how they like to move the ball, but they're almost going at 1-to-1 that quarter, kick-to-handball ratio. So, just over-handballed it, invites pressure, and Gold Coast were able to pounce on them and create some scoring opportunities for them.
Yeah, I think I noticed a real... St Kilda were really trying to energise the ball off that defensive mid-area at the start of that quarter, and they were able to do it. But I think, like you said, their attention to detail with that last kick going inside were really letting themselves down. I think the inside 50 entries for the Gold Coast, they were a lot more patient. They just summed it up, and like we spoke about, they hit the person leading at the kicker, and that's a really easy kick. So it was really poor skill level from both sides. We're watching this game. There's lots of fumbles. There's lots of handballs that just aren't hitting the mark or getting there quick enough. So yeah, it's going to be. It's a strange old game. It's like the first half was a tale of 2 quarters, and that quarter then was you could have I think the first part St Kilda were really good, just didn't score.
Quick score check at the MCG. The Cats lead the Magpies by 22 points. 15 gone in the third, ahead of getting some of the numbers from Mitch. Will's Waz on the boundary. Will?
Yeah, Ethan Reid, we saw him come off about 2/3 of the way through that third quarter. He spent the last 5 minutes or so on the bench looking pretty dejected after having chats with the doctor, was just seeming to rest his knee. But the word from the Suns is he has been cleared to play. So expecting to see him at this stage. He did look a little bit ginger as he walked on towards the 3-quarter time huddle. So we'll see if that line stays the same.
Good signs for the Suns. On the stat sheet, Noah Anderson's up to 24 disposals. The captain of the Gold Coast Suns doing well there. John Noble has 23, just the 628 metres gained. He's let me down a little bit in that quarter. Bodie Ulan has 22. Daniel Rioli and Tuke Miller also 22 apiece for St Kilda. Sinclair with 21. Brad Hill with 20. 18 for Flanders and 17 for Garcia. And Geelong have kicked another one at the MCG. 10-7-67 to Collingwood. 5-9-39, and Darcy Moore out of the game with concussion after colliding with Oisin Mullen.
Ooh.
So he'll miss next week as well.
So whatever happens for the Saints, they're going to have to turn around the trend in this game. Now, we heard from Will earlier, it's not always the trend at this venue, but at the moment, 15 goals kicked in the game, 12 of them coming to the Michael Long centre end, to the left of our broadcast position. The Saints will be running to the airport end in this final term. So they're going to have to do and find a way to kick goals at that end, which only Ben King has been able to find a way to do so far this evening. He's got 3, all 3 kicked at that end. Both coaching staffs making their way off the ground. Damien Hardwick at the moment would know his side is in a good position to continue their remarkable run at Marara. They've won their past 8 here, looking to make it 9. If the Saints are going to have success in their first trip to this ground, they're going to have to find a way to fight themselves right back. They trail by 13 points. Another score check for you in the Rugby League. Of course, we were talking about the game at Brookvale. 10 minutes to go there between the Seagulls and the Broncos. And the Seagulls with a very comfortable lead at the moment. They're up by 22 points, 26 points to 4. And just repeating those results earlier today, the Knights by 34 points over the Dragons and the Rabbitohs by 24 points over the Sharks. Ross Lyon has got a bit to say downstairs to several of his contemporaries. Walks off scratching his head. What has his team got in front of them? They lead by 14 points, as I said. 9-6-60 to 6-10-46, and they are going to have to do it without one of the best defenders in the competition. Callum Wilkie out with a back injury from early doors. We're underway in the final term. Balled up to start. Spills out. Going to have to ball it up again. Saints unable to take it away. Garcia underneath all of that. De Koning got a touch on it down towards Hall. Pinballed around. Flanders had it. Met there by a couple. Ball's been wrapped up. We'll ball it up again. Here's Mitch Turner on ABC Sport.
I'll do my best to try and clear it. See if I can get a clearance next to my name. De Koning taps it over the top. Stolen by Anderson. There we go. Quick kick forward On the Suns captain, it goes out towards left half forward. Gathering it and spinning around is Goulburn. Kicks it inside forward 50. Can they find a mark? Jamari Ugle-Hagan, he comes out. Off hands, couldn't take it. King now in the pocket. Good pick-up. Handball to Bailey Humphrey. Wrong foot Silvani. Snaps on goal. Hits the post. Oh, it would have been a cracking finish from Bailey Humphrey. I say wrong-footed Silvani, and I say it again, the turf didn't really help him out as he slipped over. It's a minus score. Margin now 15 points, 9-7-61 the Suns. St Kilda 6-10-46 as Sinclair plays on. Dangerous kick to O'Connell. Managed to pick it up, get it back to Sinclair, who goes outside 50 to Byrne. To Carroll. Inboard to Byrne, now short. It's a Flanders just beyond left half back.
And Flanders looks to move it on. On the outer side. Comes here. And taken by Hall. Inside forward 50 is a pretty good one. Here again is an opportunity for Wilson. Wilson looking to mark here. And fixes the boots. Glances over his left shoulder. Wipes his hands either side of his shorts. This will be a fourth goal to Wilson if he can kick truly from about 50 metres out. He's on his way in. Puts boot to ball. That is a great kick. And just what the Saints needed to stay in this contest. Their first goal of the game at the airport end. Perhaps they're starting to take off St Kilda in this final term. Gold Coast 9-7-61. And the Saints move out to be 7-10-52. Early stages of the third.
Good build-up for the Saints there. Just you mentioned it, Bo, just before. Gold Coast much more patient in the way that they're entering the ball, and St Kilda very, very similar there. Kick mark, lead coming to the foot of the kicker, and a really nice connection piece there.
Kick 5 against GWS last year. Darcy Wilson, round 24, had 23 touches, 5 goals, if you don't mind. Has 4 already, might be able to get a 5th. From the clearance, Petrarca soccers it off the deck, goes all the way inside forward 50, the left forward pocket. Silvani's been good tonight, gathered it, kicks it long towards the wing and going back with courage. Read the ball well, it was Lockie Weller. Having a solid night too, disposal 12, goes inboard to Anderson. Patient from the Suns. Just looking inboard, there was nothing on offer, so instead kicks it back from where it came. Into the left forward pocket, big fly in front. Humphrey couldn't mark to Koning, jumps on top of it. Now he's tackled. Might be lucky here. Goulburn was all over him. Benefit of the doubt goes his way. They're going to ball it up. Just inside forward 50. Left half forward to Koning. Taps it away, goes into the hands of Miller though, to Weller, to Rioli, who shakes the tackle with strength from Sharman, now steadies up, kicks inside forward 50, Goulburn can't mark, ground level Lombard. His handball can't find a target, Windhager was good, got it till Silvani, he was better. Stepped out of traffic, kicked outside defensive 50 to Hall. Now the Saints through hands. Down the grandstand wing, Hill over the top to Sharman, back over the top to Hill, has Andrew for company, the two go head to head, ball's on the deck, it rolls out of bounds. Just forward of the wing, Rowan Marshall's desperate for a lasso call and a last disposal, so too is Brad Hill. They're claiming it came off the boot of McAndrew.
It did.
Cara Antonio is also claiming it, she's joining them, becoming a trio.
But I don't like the rule, so...
Here we go, watch the replay.
Over his feet like it was an accidental. That's accidental.
Toe poked it out of bounds there, and Marshall actually shepherded McAndrew to try and usher it out, which goes against the spirit of the law, which is we want players to keep it in. And I reckon they're going to overturn it. And it might be a free kick to St Kilda. It is. It's a terrible look for the game, but that is the way the law is written, and it encompasses all things good and bad. It's a free kick in the end to Rowan Marshall. Kick and a half out from goal. Goes into the pocket. Hall sneaks into a gap. Takes the mark. He'll have a set shot, very tight angle to the right. At the airport end of the ground.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the rule, but look, St Kilda made the most of their opportunity. Little pocket of space as well. Really nice kick.
Can he join Max King? Kick a goal at the airport end of the ground. Hall, kick is across the face. It's a minor score. It's tough to join the tier of Kings sometimes. And he doesn't do so on this occasion. So a minor score for St Kilda as see more replays on our replay screen of...
There's also a jumper hold there from Hill.
Yes.
On Andrews.
8-point margin the way of the Suns.
Ewan towards left half back, down to Long. Chance to go through Jepson. Hand pass again to Miller. To Jeffrey, under pressure. All got him, just got a hand pass away. Miller moves it on again. To Jeffrey, got dispatched, knocked over after he got the kick away. Mark's been taken by Humphrey at left half forward nonetheless. He'll send it deep into the right forward pocket. Working underneath it. Powell couldn't mark. King tried to slap it out. Now here's Petrarca. Arches the back. Hand passes off. Snap on goal. Lombard kicks it. He's got it for Gold Coast and they respond immediately. Leonardo Lombard, he gets his 5th of the season, his first of this game. He gives the Gold Coast 10-7-67, a sizable lead back. The Saints may be frustrated with how that happened, giving away a free kick down the right-hand side. The Saints remain stuck where they were, 7-10-52.
They just really owned the big circle then, the Gold Coast. All the Saints got sucked into the ball on the ground and it just popped out to Petrarca, who was really smart. He didn't need to go in there and get the ball. He knew his teammate was going to do so, get it out to him. And then he got it to Lombard with an easy finish. That'd be another soul-destroying goal for the Saints. I feel like they've had a good 10 minutes and it just goes down the other end and an easy score.
Lombard gets his first of the night. Ball back in the middle, free kick. Going the way of the Saints. It's Marcus Windhager who will have it. Goes inside forward 50. Owens out, couldn't mark. Yuland at ground level for the Suns. Got it to Collins, over to Jeffrey. Now into the path of Miller. Has some green grass in front of him. Took Miller. Kicks inside forward 50. Looking for a marking target. King can't mark. Long roves. Handball to Petrarca. Misses. Running in on goal. A little bit of pressure, but that is a stitter for Christian Petrarca. He misses. Margin now 15 points, 10-8-68. The Suns. The Saints are 7-11-53, 15-point margin. So at least 15 minutes left to play here in this fourth term.
Here's Hill. Going to find McRae. Able to get a hand pass away to Flanders. Kicks into the left forward pocket for the Saints. Owens turns after being in the contest. Was he taken high by Andrew? He was. And he'll get the free kick deep in the left forward pocket here. Owens can go back and have a shot for St Kilda. I'll need to kick this to stay in this contest. It's a 15-point advantage right now to the Suns. This will bring it back into single digits. Owens works himself away to the right. Oh, he's got the belly of the football. It's floated up in the air, tumbling towards the teeth of goal. No one takes the mark. Ewan's kick was smothered. That was well done by Wilson. He wants a 5th, and he got tackled, dispossessed by Weller. Holding the ball. Free kick to Weller of Gold Coast. And he'll send it right back to Jeffrey in his defensive goal square, and he'll flare it out into the right back pocket here for Noble. And he gets the yellow boots in motion. Kicks towards the outer wing, leaping up Lombard. Staying down Henry. Gathered for the Saints. Hand pass back to Burns. Lombard tackles him and sees the ball across the boundary line for a throw-in.
St Kilda still in this game. 15 points. It's felt like Gold Coast have dominated. They've dominated the contest since the quarter-time mark. Moyle up in the ruck against Marshall. Nice high throw in. Moyle reached over the top, tapped it down. Henry, the first one onto it, under pressure from Petrarca. Petrarca then goes off the deck, socks it inside forward 50. Howard over the top of it for the Saints. Couldn't take possession. Beautiful pick up by Windhager. Sweeping through in the tough, slippery conditions with one hand. Picked it up, got it to Henry. That's a terrible kick, though, by the former Docker, now Saint. Turns it straight over to Jeffrey, who goes inside 50, and Lombard, standing all by himself, has a chance to kick a second goal in a row, Leo Lombard.
Well, the option was there for Henry, just poor execution of skill, really. Corridor was open and turnover, Gold Coast shot on goal.
Big raps on Leo Lombard. Starting to pay dividends in his 9th game for the year. Looking for his second goal. That won't do it. He misses. A little miscued off the side of the boot. Misses to the right. It's a minor score. 10-9-69. The Suns, the Saints are 7-11-53. We've travelled 11 and a half minutes in the 4th term. Clint Wheeldon.
So here's Howard. He's on a bit of a run. Got the kick away before he was closed down by King towards right half back for the Saints. Punched by Graham across the boundary line. Throwing the call. Hewland's had it 27 times. Miller 26. Anderson currently on the bench with 26. Noble had 24 touches. Brad Hill, Sinclair, both with 23. The two leading Saints. Mills had 18 hitouts. De Koning 14. Marshall with 9. Here's the Saints getting a kick away through Wood towards the logo. Oh, big collision. Oh, that was absolutely a crunching hit coming in from the side. Rioli's able to get it left half forward. It came to Graham. On in turn now to Miller. Kicks long. Took Miller. Kicks an 11th for Gold Coast. Their lead is out to 22 points. 11-9-75. As Miller high-fives everyone he possibly can to the Saints, who are 7-11-53. 12 and a half gone in the 4th. Big courage shown on the wing. De Koning went in, might have even raised the elbow slightly as he clattered into the side of Oscar Adam. They both stayed down, eyes for the football, but crunching hit between the two. Rioli was able to pick the ball up from the spillage, and they surged forward here, the Suns, to kick a goal.
Crucial missed tackle there by St Kilda. He was always going to try and step inside the corridor onto his right. Just needed to keep him on his left foot there. Make it a little bit more difficult.
Great goal song too.
Silvani complaining that he was being held in the goal square. Any thoughts?
They only pay that when the game's on the line. Ball back in the middle. Davies, tackled by De Koning. They never pay it, and then all of a sudden it's a minute to go in the showdown, and they go, you know what? Yeah, let's pay it. The joys of some of the decisions these days. Ball back in the middle. Stocker overran it. Coming through Anderson for the Suns. Tackled by McRae. Umpire said he dropped it. The umpire closest called play on. The umpire further away with the worst angle called holding the ball. McRae will have the free kick for St Kilda. Kicks it long inside 50. Andrew drops in the hole. Takes the mark. Trying to force some numbers down the line. Goes short instead to Hewland.
It's been massive tonight, Mac Andrew. 13 marks for the game, 21 touches.
What is going on? The umpires have lost control. So Hewland almost played on, didn't play on. Sharman thought he did. Umpire reset the mark at half-back, and now we go again. Disposal 28 for Bodie Hewland. Kicks long down the line. King can't take the mark for the Suns. Out the back, Howard, he gets it for St Kilda. Picks it up, handballs to Hill. Now Windhager down the outer wing to Max Hall. Straightens up, handballs to Garcia. Just beyond, on outside attacking 50, goes short to Sinclair, 55 metres out. Wheels, goes, kicks on goal, nails it. Sinclair gets his first, a badly needed one for St Kilda. It keeps them within touch. Brings the margin back to 16 points. 8-11-59 the Saints. The Suns are 11-9-75. 15 minutes played in the final term. Game still on. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Our experts, Bo McDonald and Cara Antonio.
Playing with a bit more energy there. I think the last 5 minutes they looked fatigued and they looked done, the Saints. But that little play there, they had forward handball, run on, link up. and then able to hit the kick in the forward half of the ground, which we've been harping on about all night. And a great finish. 50 metres out, got to kick the goal, crucial part of the game. Something's got to change here for St Kilda. They're not going to win this game playing the way they have. I think they've just got to keep trying to energise that ball through the middle of the ground as much as they can.
First goal of the season too for Jack Sinclair.
They're still in at the Saints. Meantime, Geelong lead by 34 points over Collingwood. 3 minutes to play in the third. St Kilda immediately inside forward 50 again. Jeffrey, though, read the drop of the ball pretty well. Got to work it away to Powell, then to Noble at left half back. Continued his run, got it back and kicked towards left half forward. Ugle-Hagan went up against Marshall, couldn't mark, or big collision again. Marshall on the wrong end of that. Ugle-Hagan is still down. It was Marshall up against Long, and Ugle-Hagan after the marking contest is still in strife.
Hyperextended his knee.
Told the trainer to go away. He's going to try and stay out there. So he leapt up into the air. It was the right leg as he landed. You're right, Mitch. Good call. Hyperextension. Saints win the ball across half back. They kick into the middle of the ground. Owens tries to get there. Sharman tried to hand pass it forward. Again, strong play from Adams coming the other way. He'll intercept the football after knocking it down and gave it to Rioli. Kicks to a free player in Jepson at left half forward.
Well done, Adams there. Had to come off his direct opponent, come forward, pressure, got a couple of handballs and generated a nice bit of play.
Here's Jepson kicking towards full forward, and that's a terrific mark. Flying up into the air, O'Connell. Liam O'Connell, second game of the season, 9th of his career, takes a key defensive grab for the Saints. Still a 16-point game, 17 minutes gone in the final term. Gold Coast leads St Kilda 11-9 to 8-11. The crowd is officially in 10,672.
Ball down the outer side. O'Connell marks for St Kilda. Spears it up the wing. Owens, nice mark over the top of Hewland. Saints trying to flood some numbers forward. Owens kicks up towards left half forward where Henry marks. Able to spin away. Man of the mark fell down. Henry spears it inside forward 50. Collins in the end had so much space he almost panicked and just punched it out of bounds. Could have taken the mark. What was that crowd number again, Clint?
10,672.
Not bad.
So it's the fourth highest crowd that the Gold Coast has played in front of at this venue.
It's almost knee and ankle at the same time for Jamari Ugle-Hagan. He's still out there at the moment, though. From the restart, roving beautifully was Hall. Snapped it straight to the goalkeeper on the line in Collins. His handball couldn't find a target. Henry sharks it. Off to Sharman. Snap around the body. Can't curl it back. Need to make the most of their opportunities. 15-point margin now the way of the Suns. Ulzar is downstairs. Will?
Hagan just comes to the bench then. It hasn't yet been seen by the doctors, but we'll keep an eye on it. Ethan Reid still yet to return to field of play. I suspect his night might be done.
Yep, has a black highlight around his name now in champion data, which would suggest he is done, Ethan Reid.
So Wilkie out earlier as well in that first half for the Saints with a back injury, getting a big knee from Ben King in the marking contest right in the meat of the back. So both teams losing a player. Umpire spotted a free kick on the commentary wing. It's a holding decision that will go the way of the Suns. Back to Moyle against Marshall. Moyle holds the hands out as if to say, where do you want this to go? To his teammates. He elects just to kick it long into a pack of 6 at left half forward. Front position Humphreys couldn't quite take it. Spills out for the Saints. Getting a kick away, Windhager, back from whence it came. Noble tries to stretch towards it. Moyle does tap it down to Noble, worked it along the boundary cleverly to Jepson, sweeping hand pass into Graham. Windhager got him, got a hand pass away beautifully though to Anderson at left half forward. Kicks over the top, perfectly weighted for Humphreys to mark. He had Stocker with him. He just went over the pair of them, over the right shoulder of Humphreys, and he was able to mark it deep in the left forward pocket.
And that's why the Gold Coast Suns want Noah Anderson to have ball in hand, delivering it inside forward 50 or setting up play. Just had so many different options. Chose the right one. Really, really nice bit of play from Noah Anderson.
Bailey Humphrey snaps around the body. Didn't get any real height on it, but had enough to see it through for a goal. His first of the night, 7th of the season, and Gold Coast lead is out to 21 points again. 12-9-81, St Kilda 8-12-60 as we've gone into time on in the final term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Our experts, All-Australian Cara Antonio and Premiership player Beau McDonald.
The ability of Will Graham there to stand up in the tackle and the inability of St Kilda not to make that tackle. They hold that tackle there, that plays over, stoppage, all the numbers get back, shot on goal doesn't happen, but Graham, he stood up in the tackle, great fundamental technique there, and he was able to release that handball corridor.
You like this one too, Mitch?
Oh, they're all good. I've been singing all of them tonight.
This is far more of a Sydney Swans song, though. Because they always play this at the SCG.
They play it everywhere, Claire.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's the most overplayed song in the world.
I feel like it's Cam Rayner's song as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I reckon it might be as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they played at the Scorchers when they play in Perth.
Ball back in the middle. Moyle kicks it forward for the Suns. Off hands of Humphrey. Couldn't take it. Lombard in there. Now Silvani's over the top. It's a rolling maul inside 50. The umpire will ball it up as Lombard tries to sneak away from the pack.
It is a consistent at three-quarter time, though, at the SCG. Every game.
Oh, really?
Yep, every game. Not as good as Wharfie time at Perth Stadium, though.
Ball tossed up in the air to Koning. Taps it down now, applies a tackle. Ball up again inside the Suns forward 50. It's probably the most overplayed song in the world.
Yeah.
I have seen a T-shirt.
Still a ripper, though.
That says, I hate Sweet Caroline.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I like it, but I think maybe some people get a little bit tired of it.
King doing the ruck work. Got it down to Miller, who broke a tackle. To Weller, outside attacking 50 to Rioli. Kick inside forward 50. Couldn't land in the hands of Long. Lombard out to meet it. He was tackled by O'Connell. Coughed it up. Garcia onto it for the Saints. Kicks it down the outer side. 2-on-1 in the way of the Suns. Spilt though to McRae for St Kilda. To Owens to Hill, who's tackled by Adams. Dispossessed. Swept on it by Anderson. Anderson kicks inside 50, too low. Unable to mark it was Humphrey. In there was Goulburn. Goes back to Petrarca. Back to Anderson. To Noble. Off a step from 50. Hits the post. It's a very good strike off one or two steps from John Noble, but hits the woodwork on the left-hand side. 12-10-82. The Suns 8-12-60. St Kilda 22-point margin. 23 minutes gone.
So an equal high, biggest lead for the Suns throughout the game of 22 points. Saints bring it away down the outer side. McRae, O'Connell, Hall. Comes inside 50 to Henry. Couldn't mark it. Spilled down. The Suns will bounce back quickly through Weller. He's able to move it on to Lombard. Takes a deep breath. Allows players to stream forward. He's on a short run. To the logo on the outer wing. Stabs it short to Weller, who'd run by. He takes an uncontested mark. Tells players to move forward of him. Offers plenty of advice. A couple of Suns fans in the crowd waving their flags as Weller kicks deep towards full forward. Out the back, not quite to Jepson. Humphreys picks it up, threw it on the boot, missed. It bounces through, minor score to the right-hand side. That is a game-high lead of 23 points to the Suns. 12-11-83 Gold Coast, 8-12-60 St Kilda, 24 gone in the last.
Confirming it is Cam Rayner's goal song, nailed by Cara Antonio as usual as the kick comes out towards the wing and Sam Collins punches it out of bounds. Tends to lift when he plays against a Ross Lyon coach side.
Ooh.
Discarded him at Fremantle.
This doesn't look good for Mason Wood.
I'm not sure if it's a hamstring or cramp for Mason Wood as he comes to the boundary line. He's talking to the physio. It's a left hamstring. Physio had a smile. Mason Wood did not. We'll keep an update on that. Will Zwar on the boundary will keep us across that as play continues to Koning. Tries to go off the right boot. A floater. It's marked by Noble. He goes inboard to Rioli. Both wearing the yellow boots.
8-16 he's up to.
Yeah, he's let me down a little bit. He's slowed Noble. These sideways kicks are terrible. We've got to go forward like Rioli's doing now. Kicks towards left half forward. Big fly from De Koning. Couldn't mark. Ground level Wilson overran it. De Koning tried to dive on top. Petrarca picks it up. Handballed it straight to Wilson for the Saints. That's the way. Send the ball forward. Collins able to outpoint Owens and get it towards the boundary. Owens wants insufficient intent, but I think in those conditions, benefit of the doubt, it's very, very slippery. Can't hold on to a ball. I'm sweating out here.
Sticky. You know the ball's slippery, and the players have had some challenges keeping their feet on the surface. Thrown in again. Moyle was really the only player that contested it. He's able to sweep a hand pass away, but Garcia gets back there for the Saints. Hands it off to Filippo. Back by hand to Garcia on the wing. He's tackled, went to ground, hand pass away, knocked down by Petrarca, follows it up, applied pressure to Caminiti. The ball spills across the boundary line, and there's a bit of afters here too between Garcia and alongside him with Graham. They've got plenty to say to each other on the commentary wing. Anderson comes in and tells Graham to get away. Focus again on the football. I don't know if there are any issues after this game. At the moment, the Gold Coast have it in their keeping. Moyle kicks towards left half forward, tapping it out towards the boundary line and looking to gather, and then losing his footing was Carroll. Pressure came from Long, throwing it left half forward here again for the Suns. Gold Coast leaders 23 points, 26 gone in the last. Check again with a score at the MCG. 3-quarter time there. Cats are 11-10-76 to the Magpies 5-14-44.
Marshall takes it out of the ruck for St Kilda. Gets it to McRae. The Saints able to go forward down the wing. Mark taken by Mac Andrew for the Suns. Goes short and wide to Noah Anderson.
Mark number 14 for Mac Andrew.
Anderson goes short to Noble. Now, can he kick this 200 metres? He's on 815 metres gain. I tell you what, he runs his little measure and then kicks it long into the pocket. Just stay in bounds good off hands of Humphrey.
Ooh.
Out of bounds. Wills Wire downstairs.
Yeah, Mason Wood got some heavy work from the Doxton physios, just doing some run-throughs, so don't think his night's done just yet.
Ball's going to be spun back in the left forward pocket for the Suns. Doing the ruck work, Ben King got in front of Marshall. Comes into the path of Graham. He overruns it. Then Goulburn is tackled. Another stoppage inside. Suns forward 50. Ball comes out the way of the Saints through Flanders to Wilson. He's been productive tonight. Handball a little hot for Filippo. Had time to go back and get it. Wheels onto that left boot. Dangerous kick in the middle of the ground. Sharman got a hand on it. Spills to Anderson. He's tackled. Noah Anderson, 31 touches tonight. 4 clearances, 10 marks. The marks in general, 109 to Gold Coast. John Noble, 862 metres gained. He's sweating off the back of this pack. Powell thought about handballing it to him, gave it to Miller instead. Boo. He kicks it down the wing over the head of Caminiti. He can't mark at ground level. Did well, the Saint. Got it to Stocker, who goes short to Noble. Kick it long. No, goes short. And finds Goulburn.
And Goulburn plays on by hand. Comes towards Long. He'll kick inside forward 50. This is King. Already with 3 tonight. Ben King with an opportunity to go a couple clear on top of the Coleman medal race.
Not sure what happened there with the St Kilda defenders. No one in the vicinity of Ben King at all. So a bit of a handover issue there and way too much space for the key forward.
Here he comes, Ben King. Kick almost in line with the left hand behind post. Looking for his 4th goal of the evening from right on 50. It's a terrific looking kick. It's through for another goal. He's got 4. Ben King now with 32 goals for the season. As the Suns push their lead out to another game high, 29 points, 13-11-89 to the Saints, 8-12-60. 29 minutes gone in the final term here on ABC Sport, on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, streaming on the ABC Listen app.
Just a skill error there again from St Kilda. Made too many mistakes by hand, and Gold Coast have just been able to pounce. Much cleaner at ground level. And again, no one even near Ben King. Easy mark. Not an easy set shot. Fantastic kick at goal.
Ball back in the middle, sweeping through. Darcy Wilson tackled, bumped off it. Garcia, he lost it to Koning in there now for the Saints. Handball's out to Flanders, just managed to gain possession and soccer it forward to Rioli though, who meets it on the bounce. And composed goes short, so Will Graham. Marks in the middle of Marara Oval. Gets called to play on. Sends it long, inside, forward, 50. King at the front, can't mark. At the back, Humphrey. Handball over the top, long. Slips, gathers, handball. Turn it over, Burns. His handball too hot for O'Connell. It is really slippery now. Players crashing in everywhere. Humphrey tries to gather, can't. Long on hands and knees, slaps it into the path of Goulburn, who is escorted over the boundary line. We'll have a ball in, left forward pocket. Final minute or so here at Marara. Margin currently 29 points. Away of the Suns. Shallow throw into Koning, crashing through. Almost a bit of friendly fire. Lost the ball. Spilled to Burns. High kick beyond defensive 50. The mark is taken by Oscar Adams. Disposal number 11. Oscar Adams, who sends a high ball back inside 50. Big fly at the back from Humphrey, couldn't take it. Goulburn ground level, he's tackled, lost it. Caminiti dives in on top of him, and they will ball it up. Tamara Ugle-Hagan and Ethan Reid down on the bench, not required. In this last bit, they're actually going to pay a a free kick to Caminiti for holding the ball. So the Saints will run the ball out, but they'll fall short once more. They say there's no place like home, but for the Gold Coast Suns, Marara's pretty close. They do it again in Darwin. They make it 9 wins in a row, 6 for the season. They defeat St Kilda by 29 points.
So St Kilda's back-to-back wins, they're over, with the Gold Coast Suns now making it a 9th win in a row at Marara. For the Suns, Ben King back on top of the Coleman medal race. He kicked 4. Singles to Noble, Petrarca, Davies, Lombard, Miller, Weller, Rioli, Humphrey and Graham. While for the Saints, Darcy Wilson kicked 4. Singles to Owens, Henry, Sinclair and Hall. The Suns by 29 points. So their 6th win of the season for Gold Coast. They go back-to-back after their win in the Expansion Cup last week. 20 points to the good over GWS. While the Saints, after victories in recent weeks against West Coast and Carlton, had their colours lowered the first time they head up to the top end and Marara. Remarkable run of success here by the Gold Coast Suns at this venue, and they'll be here again on Friday night up against Port Adelaide. While for the Saints, they'll face Richmond in the middle game on Sunday at the Docklands. So the Gold Coast 13-11-89 to St Kilda 8-12-60. Let's get the thoughts of our experts here on ABC Sport. Cara Antonio and Bo McDonald.
Well, the goal coming into the game would not to let St Kilda get anywhere near 100 points again, and the Gold Coast certainly achieved that. Look, for me, it was a game of really poor skill from both sides. And look, the conditions have a little bit to play with that, I reckon. Very slippery, lots of missed handballs, lots of missed kicks, and lots of poor decisions. But I think in the end, that last quarter, you're able to see. I think Anderson, he was getting a lot of ball, a lot higher up the ground. He had 4 inside 50s in that quarter, maybe 5. St Kilda looked really fatigued towards the end there, and that can often happen, I suppose, when you're not getting your hands first on the ball. But yeah, I'd be disappointed if I was St Kilda. Probably didn't energise the ball as much. Like watching them last week in that third quarter, that was the blueprint. They just played on, thought on the run, and took what was in front of them. And I didn't see them do that tonight. They were a little bit careful. The Gold Coast forwards were snapping up the ground, which allowed the midfielders to shunt back again as well. And there was just a whole lot of numbers, once a time. They're kicking to a nest all the time. So, look, very disappointing for the Saints, I reckon.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Bo. And just looking at the stats and I suppose score sources, Gold Coast were able to score 7 of their 13 goals from the back half of the ground, which it just shows that St Kilda's high half forwards just did not empty out or chase, create any pressure. I think, missing Cal Wilkie for a big chunk or 3/4 pretty much of the game, really costly for St Kilda. He just sets them up so well. And again, King getting on the end of quite a few. Disappointing. You're right, skill levels weren't fantastic. Conditions did look pretty tough, but just they stick tackles, Gold Coast, where St Kilda, weren't able to stick them. Gold Coast slipped tackles and just, I think, played the conditions far better. 8 goals, 9 from turnover, so it could have been a completely different story as well.
Yep.
In terms of the margin in the end.
I feel like we saw a lot of that fundamental ability to hold your tackle, get your feet in close, not reach, and actually stick that tackle and then not let the offensive player release the ball by hand. St Kilda fell short. They were getting up there, the pressure was in their face, but that last little bit to nail the tackle, we see it all the time, the domino effect then comes into effect.
Stoppages, though, like just looking at clearances, so they were plus 18, St Kilda, and they're a good clearance side, just didn't make the most of their dominance inside there and only scored the 2 goals 4 from stoppage, whereas Gold Coast were able to get 3 goals 2. So, yeah, disappointing, just really disappointing. One hit outs as well, so just shows that the skill execution from little circle to big circle, as you mentioned, just wasn't there. And Gold Coast pressure was pretty good for 4 quarters and obviously ended the way it did. 13 goals 11 to 8 goals 12. So both had opportunities to hit the scoreboard, but Gold Coast Suns just made the most of theirs in front of the big sticks.
Yeah, Johnny Noble was great today as well. 30 uncontested possessions. If you're playing on him today, you'd be looking at that stat going, geez, what was I doing?
As a former ruckman, Bo, you'd be like, what's an uncontested possession?
Yeah, that's true. But that was terrific by him.
9 running bounces, by the way, for Daniel Rioli. Had 6 of them in one movement down the outer wing, which was nothing short of remarkable, and also finished up with 28 disposals. Mitch Turner will have all the other numbers for you, but just repeating, St Kilda led by 25 points at quarter time. They kicked 5 unanswered goals after conceding the first. And then Gold Coast responded with a run of 7 unanswered goals to set themselves up to lead by 13 points early in that third term. Kilda were able to fight back at times, but then Gold Coast too strong at the end of the game, and they pushed the eventual margin out to 29. 13-11-89 to St Kilda, 8-12-60. Just a quick score check for you before we get all the numbers here with Mitch Turner, apart from, of course, the score, which with Gold Coast continue on their merry way with another victory. In the Rugby League tonight, the game between Manly and Brisbane finished up with a 32-4 win for the Seagulls over the Broncos. So the results today in the NRL, the Knights by 34 points over the Dragons, the Rabbitohs by 24 points over the Sharks, and the Seagulls by 28 over the Broncos. There is still a game underway. what are we, 12 and a bit minutes? Yeah, 12 and a bit minutes into the final term at the MCG. Geelong lead that by 40 points over the Magpies. So it would take something remarkable for Collingwood to fight back in this game, which is, of course, Scott Pendlebury's record-equaling, 432nd game. 14-12-96, the Cats, 7-14-56, the Magpies. So the Gold Coast, they were sitting in fifth on the ladder. They'll keep that sort of position at the moment. Their percentage, originally 116 points, but they're keeping themselves right in the mix for another tilt at September. And can they go deeper than the one finals victory they had last season? Mitch Turner, what are the other numbers in front of you, say?
Some of the team numbers, the total disposals, Gold Coast 375, St Kilda 356. The uncontested possessions, 249 to the Suns, 237 to the Saints. Contested possessions, St Kilda edged ahead in the end, 119 to 112. Clearance count, as mentioned already, 39 clearances to just 21 for Gold Coast. That's an incredibly low clearance count. The tackle count, 44 to 41, St Kilda's way. The inside 50s, 48 to 45 Gold Coast way, and the hit-outs 29 to 24 the Saints way, as you'd expect with that ruck duo. Individually, Tuke Miller, 31 touches and a goal. John Noble, 31 touches and a goal. Noah Anderson, 31 touches and no goal. 29 touches for Boney Hewland, 28 for Daniel Rioli with a goal as well. Petrarca finished with 23. For the Saints, I almost said Suns, looking at Sam Flanders at the top, but he is now a Saint. 28 disposals for Flanders. Garcia had 27. Brad Hill, 25. So too Sinclair. Max Hall had 23. Darcy Wilson, 22. Quite a remarkable stat, that, isn't it? 39 clearances to 21, the way of St Kilda, and you lose the inside 50 count by 3.
Yeah.
That's a remarkable. I'll have a look. That'd be up there with the lowest amount of clearances the Suns have had in a while. 21 is incredibly low for a game of football, is it not? To win a game?
It is, but it was, I suppose it's what you do once the ball's cleared, and I think their pressure was outstanding inside and ball spilled out. They were much cleaner at ground level, so yeah, I suppose sometimes, as they said, the only stat that really counts is the end score. At the end of the day, you can win every other stat, but if you don't win the scoreboard one, nothing else really matters.
Mother's Day tomorrow. The Suns have been doing a couple of nice things Mother's Day wise. What have you got, Wills?
Yeah, unfortunately, we won't have any players join us for a chat post-game. That is because they are obviously a big travelling party up here. They've got a few mothers in the side as well, and it's some bouquets of flowers handed out to the lucky ones who've made their way up for a top-end trip in the middle of May. Great family vibe we know they have at the Suns as well. Obviously, there are a lot of young
let's just have a
players.
listen to the song if we can. They've got the mums in the circle as well. Continue on, Will.
Yeah, so a lot of mothers as part of that travelling party as well. So wanting to make them feel welcome, they'll spend the next 10 or so days here, or 10 days in total up here, enjoying parts of the top end, and part of that's part of their deal as well. So yeah, great family trip up here, and obviously the Suns have ticked off one of their 2 games with 4 points.
They've been ticking them off time and time again. 9 straight, as Mitch told you, for the Gold Coast Suns at this venue, and they'll get a chance to make it 10 out of 10. Well, at least 10 out of recent 10 after they dropped the first 2, but they do take on Port Adelaide here on Friday night, one of the 2 Friday night games. 2 games tomorrow to wrap up the round. Melbourne up against West Coast and Richmond up against Adelaide. But Gold Coast, too good. 13-11-89 to St Kilda, 8-12-60. Injury issues, though. We know about Callum Wilkie, lower back problem after copping a knee to Ben King, and Ethan Reid with the hyperextension to his leg and to his knee. So hopefully that's not too serious, but he didn't return after suffering that problem. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for the Gold Coast player. Any more?
We've got 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes to chat with you.
Just an update from the MCG. Another goal to the Cats in front of 83,000 there. So 16-12, 108 to Collingwood, 7-14-56. This is becoming a bit of a belting the way of Geelong in Collingwood's home game, and the record equaling game for Scott Pendlebury. Now, here's a quick one. I know we're talking about the Suns-Saints game, but do you cheer him off like he's equalled the record? So
No.
he's now the joint record holder.
No, you don't.
What if he broke his leg during the week and never broke the record?
Well, that's fine. He hasn't broken the record.
But he's now the equal holder of the record.
Tremendous. He's the equal holder.
So you only get it if you broke it.
Yep.
So he's not the game's record holder.
No, he's the equal games record holder, but he hasn't set a new mark. He's equaled a mark. He hasn't set a new mark.
I'm not sure I like that.
So what are you going to do? Cheer him off 2 games in a row?
Yeah.
No.
What if he broke his leg during the week and never broke it? No, but like he's not guaranteed to play.
What if an
football
asteroid comes down and hits the Earth and kills us all? Like the what if?
Correct.
No, I can't. You can't cheer him off 2 weeks in a row. You cheer him off when he sets a new mark.
I'm just putting it out there.
And I'm just saying no.
When you look at the record book, who does it say holds the game's record?
Well, right
Does it
now,
have
no
his-
one.
No,
Because
right now it would.
Well, it wouldn't
They've
right
completed.
now.
Yeah, they have completed more than half a game. It constitutes a game of football.
We need a new record book, though.
So it'd be 432.
Get the gloves out.
It'd be Harvey and Pendlebury.
No, this is called Monday.
Gotta celebrate both.
Monday, Thursday, Friday in the office.
Got to celebrate both.
No, you don't cheer him off here.
So if you play 350, you get cheered off. And if the club record is 350 and you break it the next week, do you get cheered off 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, but then
The
there's
break in your club record.
Then there's
after doing
two different things. One, you're being cheered off for a milestone, and then you're being cheered off for a club record. They're two different marks.
You don't like the two for the similar record?
No.
I'm just asking the question.
Well, you obviously think you should cheer.
No, I just think it's interesting because if something happened.
Yeah, I don't think that.
So Dustin Fletcher tore his groin in his 400th game and never played again.
Yep.
So, but they celebrated, Dustin Fletcher 400. He's lucky it wasn't 399 and whatever.
But see, I didn't mind it when he reached the 400 because 400's a milestone.
No, I'm just saying you can get injured.
Yeah, you
like
can.
Scott Pendlebury could pull a calf in the last 9 minutes.
Many things could happen, but you
Tear
don't.
an Achilles.
You don't cheer him off for equaling the record. You cheer him off for breaking it.
No, I'm just curious.
Where do you sit on this?
I'm with you, Clint. Yep. I'd be wait till he breaks the actual record, cheering him off. It's going to be a great atmosphere there.
It's sensational.
Gold number, white number, black number. We'll see what he does. I just thought I'd bring it up. It's just interesting. He's now the games record holder with sharing it with Brent Harvey.
Yeah, but I think
who will be on the coverage next week.
Will he?
For ABC Sport.
Oh, fantastic. What a great result.
That is the plan. The plan's been in place for a while, so not next week, the week after it will be, because he won't play City. He's not breaking.
There's no way he's going to.
Because Collingwood don't care about winning the game. They will rest him against good sides and lose football games to celebrate at home, which is a really tough one because you feel like they could have managed it better at other points in the year, because now he has to skip potentially really tough games of footy, like the Hawthorn game. They then lose because you want to break the record at home, which is absolutely fair. If it is such a big deal, you want to do it at the MCG back in Melbourne. However,
yeah, I think it's really,
work it out better earlier in the year and be like, well, rest him here, rest him there.
I just think it's too hard to pick and choose. I reckon they'd just be looking at his metrics, and when they say you need a rest, I think it'd be too hard.
He had a
to
rest
say.
last week, and he will rest next week.
Yeah,
that's why.
We're not sure what the exact metrics and what they're measuring him on and what their sports scientists are going on, and I'm sure with his input as well, he'd have a lot of say as well, because he would know his body better than anyone else. And if I don't think you can look that far ahead and go, okay, we're going to rest this game, we're going to rest this game. So many different factors, and I think just understanding the metrics and yourselves and the sports science team.
There's one metric: Sydney's not Melbourne.
Out. Sydney's not Melbourne. I would also make this point.
Mate, they got that much cash anyway, Collingwood, don't they?
He's never played in Darwin. 432 games. He's never played in Darwin. Sam Collins is in game 158. He's played there 11 times.
Yeah, wow.
Alistair Lynch hardly ever played in Perth. Never travelled over.
Yeah, but that's because he gets the discount.
Yeah.
Collingwood don't play at Darwin.
I would make this point, though. I think this is a reflection of where Collingwood know their season is this year. If they were right in the mix for finals, if this was close to the end of the season and they were battling between finishing top 4, top 5, top 6, then the record go he would play if
That was
they
my
thought
point.
he could play. No, I'm absolutely with you.
Like if they were top 4, they wouldn't be resting, and they go, "Oh, we just have to do it."
But I think they're realistic enough to know that the greatest thing that will happen in Collingwood's year this year will be this moment. Because I think they can play finals. I think they can sneak into the 10.
6 to 10, yeah.
And might even finish 6th if a few things go their way. but they're not good enough to win it. So they will prepare everything around what is one of truly the great moments in Australian football. Kara's been sitting on the fence and been very quiet. Should they chair him off twice? You don't get to get out of this.
No, I do agree. Sorry, Mitch, I do agree with you, Clint.
I don't care either way.
And I think it is hard knowing, obviously, this game was coming for, since the back end of last year when he signed his new contract. But I think he was a bit sore in one of the games earlier in the season, and they probably just wanted to wrap him up in cotton wool and make sure that he was celebrated to the biggest and highest degree at the MCG. And what better way than to hopefully flog the Eagles? I'm allowed to say that.
You are. As a
played for Freo, grew up supporting
and
Collingwood.
Thank you.
We need the votes in the next 40 seconds.
Yep. Okay. The one vote, Mac Andrew thought he was outstanding. Had 22 disposals and 14 marks. The general back there. The two, Noble, 31 disposals, 30 of those uncontested, 13 marks, over 800 metres gained and a goal. And the three, just thought Noah Anderson, just outstanding with ball in hand, 31 touches, 4 clearances, 8 score involvements and 10 marks.
So there you go. Anderson with the 3 votes in the ABC Footballer of the Year. Noble with 2, Andrew with 1. Gold Coast by 29 points. 9 straight wins at Marara after beating St Kilda this evening. They're back here on Friday to take on Port Adelaide. The Saints, next stop, Richmond. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
Get your documentary fix.